Well, it is just about that time, folks, for the grand finals of Insomnia 55. But first, we do have just a little bit of analysis to go over. We have War, of course, and CX here. Myself, Gecks, and Sideshow here. We are just about to get into it. nerdRage versus froyotech. But there are some things we'd like to go over here first, isn't there?
Yeah, we're just going to run a small pre-game show here. The game is going to start on time. We've got the players probably already in the server by now, actually. Our tournament admin's making sure everything runs to the clock after that tiny delay to allow the Americans to get out of their beds and watch watch them get potentially spanked. Am I allowed to say that as an
started already.
Caster? Yeah, but yeah, we've got our analysts here, War and CommanderX. We're going to be having a look at the player rosters, I think, to start us off, and just taking a look at how they compare against each other on paper, looking at the stats.
Yeah, so we're going to get started with froyotech. I'll probably refer to them as 4G for ages, because I'm probably the only person that does. I think obviously everybody's going to be wanting to know what Clockwork and Blaze are going to do over these maps in the grand final. For those that missed out on the Reason versus froyotech game, it was, well, Viaduct was pretty much all Clockwork, and I think everybody would agree. He absolutely demolished them. Yep. 35 frags. He completely outplayed, just smashed everybody, along with Blaze as well. Blaze did a lot of work, and as you can see on the stats, quite a telling one is Banny, who is leading kills, deaths, kills, assists, deaths, DPM. The little swine stole my spot.
Yeah, I mean, he's had an absolutely fantastic tournament. The guy has played 15 maps and top damaged in 13 of them.
Mm-hmm. That's unreal.
That's absolutely insane. After the Demoman nerf, it's slightly easier to top damage as a soldier, but even so, he's just putting out such a performance. In fact, the froyotech really missed him in the games which they lost. I thought that he was less of a factor in those games against nerdRage, and that was one of the things that really made froyotech look like a weaker team. Banny's doing a lot of work for them there, along with Clockwork and Blaze on the flag.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really important as to how Benny does. I mean, he is calling from them as well, which is obviously why he gets such good stats, because it will sort of, they'll play out depending on what he feels the situation needs. You know, what he's currently feeling in terms of if he needs to push or go back in, if he wants to bomb in, take solo Ubers and all that lot. But at the moment, you can't really fault any sort of calls that he's done. Like, nothing really stands out as a major issue that's gone wrong. I want to take a look at nerdRage as well. As we can see, their stats are slightly less amazing. However, their results over the maps definitely speak for themselves. I think the main sort of outstanding player for these guys is pretty much Zebo and Stark. Stark has been performing incredibly well, pretty much scoring top points in the majority of their games. Zebo as well, when they played against froyotech on, was it Snakewater? Like, literally making Shader's bitch, like the entire series.
On Process as well. He was fantastic plays on Process, particularly in the Golden Cap.
He was just on him so much. He just wouldn't give him any sort of breathing space and just made it as uncomfortable for Shade as it is.
He brought those incredibly clutch moments as well. You know, the ones that literally win you pushes or win you games. And that's the kind of thing that, well, all of these players, all the players of this caliber can throw out there. But Zebasai was doing it with such consistency yesterday. It was amazing to watch, and right when they needed it most as well.
Yeah, it was really good. Another player as well was Tech. I mean, he's hit a pretty standard 88 air shots over the course of i55, and yesterday, my goodness, he hit some absolutely amazing ones.
Yeah.
It was, and I think that's the reason why as well that they performed so well, because every single one of their players have just been playing on top of their game. I mean, they've been hitting all their shots, they've been making the most out of every opportunity that they've been given. But it's also their unpredictable factor behind it. One thing that is quite a big thing for those that aren't aware is that nerdRage are actually planning to swap Stark and Zebo. They're going to swap roles, so Stark is going to be playing Rover and Zebo is going to be playing Scout. Now, you may be wondering as to why they're doing that, especially after they've been winning. I have no idea, but when I asked Zebo, he said, we want to try it out.
Yeah, they're playing that exclusively on Sunshine, the first map, because Zebasai doesn't feel like he has a grasp of the mid-fight as roaming soldier. And when Stark played for BK as the roamer, he was fantastic. He probably one of, if not the in Europe, the best roamer on that map. He opens up so many avenues for his team and understands the way that that map plays, and that could really give them a boost. But when I was talking to Shade last night, and they knew that nerdRage were going to do this, they've looked at their VODs and things of previous games, and froyotech said, why on earth would we be afraid of nerdRage on Sunshine? If they're so bad at the map, they have to switch their team up to adapt to it. And I think that's an interesting point.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
it is literally they are choosing to put players on classes that they are not 100% familiar with. They've played for vast amounts before, but in terms of this tournament and how ready they are on each class, it's not their main for this period of time. What do you think that does to the team?
I think there's got to be a reason behind it, and I think it's because if you look at nerdRage's players and the ones that they've got, I mean, Zebosai has got like a ridiculous amount of seasons under his belt with different classes. I mean, BK played Scout and then Roman and then Pocket,
Medic
as well. That was a hilarious time. We all remember that. But yeah, because they've got so many players on the team that have played different roles, they can just swap it up. I mean, they can even have tech sniping as well. I mean,
they could have Stark sniping.
Yeah, and off class. I mean, there's every single one of those, like the core four. Maybe Flippy's probably not the most dynamic out of the rest, but the rest can just literally swap between soldier, spy, sniper, and scout without skipping a beat. It's not going to be sort of like an alien feeling for them, and I think their team is kind of used to and prepared for being able to run these weird sort of setups. And personally, when we're playing against nerdRage, it throws you off, and I think Froyo may be thrown off by it because you'll expect one of their classes to be up when you press the scoreboard. You'll be like, oh, okay, they've only got a soldier up or a scout up, and then it comes out as a different class. They're only minor, but these are the things that will just sort of completely unnerve you because you don't know what they're going to throw at you.
Do you think nerdRage will be fully comfortable with these changes? Do you think Zebasai will be able to adapt to the scout role, Stark to the roamer role without a hitch?
Yeah,
no doubt. They've done it before, and they're both more than competent on both classes. They've both played it in Prem for a long time. Zebasai's outstanding as scout, almost as good as he is at soldier. I don't think it's going to be any problem. It will be interesting to see Sunshine as a map, though. I think we've only played it once so far at LAN.
Yes,
it's been eliminated or banned.
nerdRage played it yesterday against us, and that sort of brings me to my amazing map analysis tool, which I hope is going to work for the sake of it. Look at this, everyone. We are
This is beautiful.
An esport. We get a pop champion.
Production value right here.
Pop champion chat, please, because look at this. So, like, Sunshine as a map is a bit of an unknown entity for the majority of Europe, but as far as I know, nerdRage picked this map because they feel that froyotech are the most weakest on it.
Yeah.
Now, what yesterday nerdRage did, because they played it and they feel really, really confident on it, when they were playing against my team TLR, you would find that Rib would either be taking the left or the right side of the point. Now, he would go incredibly aggressive, and all he does at the very, very start is focus the other demo man. Like, I have never been completely pooped on in my life. Like, it's halfway, like, from the other side of the map, there's just stickies in my face every single time, and they're just done perfectly, and they get them really, really low. They'll also have a roamer hiding in their cafe, or to just stop the flank from froyotech, which is the reason why I think they're doing this, because they must know something, they've got a pre-made strat on this. The other thing that as well is that they have tech on the tower, and then you have two scouts that are just really, really defensive, looking after the ball. And if this works, we're going to get an arrow. Pow! Look at that.
That is beautiful.
And that is what they do. They literally just go over. So Rib will be the leading man. He'll go over, he'll put a lot of damage and pressure on you, and then all you'll find is that they'll get a soldier from cafe, soldier from top, and they'll just jump onto you and destroy you. If you try and counter jump, you've got these two scouts that are just really, really defensive, and they'll just be pretty much able to just take out anyone. Pow, circle.
Pow, indeed.
Look at this.
That is great.
We are a digital sport.
And in terms of what froyotech does on these mid-fights as well, I mean, the games that they played on Sunshine, they haven't played it for quite a long time against a serious team. They have been banning it for this tournament. Their normal bans have been Granary first, and then Sunshine. I think they're least confident on Granary, but they did.
Excuse us, we have quite the commotion going on out
Yeah,
here.
we're
trying to hold it together
We've
here.
got a live giveaway going for the.
Rapscallions.
And the sad part is I didn't get any of these freebies that are going out.
Nothing
in the
was
crowd
going in our
here.
direction at all.
Yeah,
I know. What is that?
have-
I wanted one of those nice hats.
I've received
That's on.
0 land swag. I said swag, but not in the sort of normal connotation. But
Oh, you just got thrown something.
I would like something for free,
watch the
even if
cameras.
it is just a little kiss.
Yeah.
Oh,
Look at that,
wow.
that's beautiful.
Great
Thank
catch.
you.
Great catch. So CommanderX Honor War is going to be repping the what? MSI.
You know what? I really suit a hat, don't I? This is just really good. It could be good if you put it a little bit further forward so you can hide my receding hairline.
We'll need a
Too
bigger
bad the
brim.
headset's in the way.
Yeah, you need
I know.
a bigger hat for that.
So in terms of how the team's going to approach Sunshine, do you have any insight into Froyotech and how they play that map?
Froyo, I think from watching them in the ESCA, they've been really shaky on it.
Yeah, definitely.
The problem with Sunshine is that there are many parts on the map where there are a lot of holes. So one thing that you'll notice, you are going to have to excuse me if the circles don't work again, but there are a lot of sort of ways to sort of hide. I mean, in Cafe, you've got about 10 different ways to hide, so you can just hide in there. Look at the size of that circle.
That's you could hide in
Going
that
off the
area.
charts.
That is the circle area that you need to hide on.
We have a very hyped crowd.
The crowd
here.
are loving your analysis here,
Okay.
Wall.
It's not working. I've forgotten how to do shapes. I never was the one that would understand shapes. And I mean, what is an isosceles triangle? Isn't it just a normal triangle? You know, there's right angle
I wasn't too
triangles.
good in geometry.
It's
don't
just
ask.
one thing. It's a triangle. It's no need to give it another name. Anyway, so yeah, there's just too many holes pretty much on Sunshine that's going to sort of, I think, cause a problem for 4G. Because against Reason on maps like Badlands, which 4G lost, there's loads of backcrapping opportunities. And I think that if nerdRage exploit that, I mean, Stark is just insane for things like that, getting behind and try and make plays. And with Zebasai as well, it's going to be really good. The only problem that I think that nerdRage might have is the Blaze and Clockwork combo again. Because, you know, everybody knows, and especially from the Viaduct game, again, that they will literally destroy everybody if they're given too much room.
One thing to note, too, about this map is that, I mean, it was online play, but during ESCA in mid-season or so, this was actually the one map that Ascent beat Froyotech on.
Yeah.
So it is, I would say, I mean, granted, you do have a different kind of switch up on classes on Froyotech since then, but still, maybe definitely one of the shakier maps for them.
Once they had switched up their classes, they did actually beat Ascent on Sunshine in the grand final of ESCA, but
still
the
very
crowd
close
getting
game,
hyped
too.
as we are about to go live with our grand final very shortly. I can see the players trickling into the server.
I mean, I can't hear those things loud enough, to be honest, and it's really quiet. I mean, I can still hear myself think, which is a problem
Yeah,
I can
because
see people not
I'm just-
smacking that. I'm disappointed.
I mean, it's so loud that nobody will know that I'm gay.
Dropping bombs here.
Hey!
So what about the rest of the maps then? They'll be moving on then to Viaduct, Snakewater, Process, and then Badlands. Are there any there that stand out for you?
Pretty much Viaduct for obvious reasons from Freyo's last game. However, interestingly, when we spoke to Zebasai about, you know, the veto that they were doing, they opted to not ban Viaduct, which after that performance that Froyo gave, to me, that like regardless of what you were decided to ban, I mean, that was just too dominating to ignore.
Yeah.
I think it's really interesting that they didn't ban Viaduct, because when I was talking to Zebasai about that, he said that the past 2 times they've played Viaduct, which have both been against Froyotech, they've not had Flippy sniping on a decent PC. He substituted his PC in after the Viaduct game against Froyotech, and he now has decent FPS and a decent setup. So they're supremely confident that Flippy is now going to be playing at the top of his game.
Well, for their
that is
sake, I
plan.
hope so.
Well,
I mean-
absolutely, because Froyotech are the best at Viaduct. They're
can't
so
ignore it.
good.
Yeah.
And unless Flippy goes insane, I cannot see them winning it.
No.
I think nerdRage would just rather play something they're confident on. They tend not to worry too much about what the other team is good at. They just want something they're comfortable, and that's why I think they took out Snakewater, was it?
No, took out Gully. They eliminated Gully Wash.
But yeah,
and yeah, they're not too confident on that map, and that's another great one for froyotech. So I think that's a fairly wise decision. But
yeah, they just want something they feel comfortable on, and if they're confident they're hitting their shots, that's what they need. And starting on Sunshine, it gives them a great opportunity to start this series off with a opening round win.
Yeah, I mean, on Viaduct anyway, it's really, really difficult, and I feel will be difficult for nerdRage unless they've got some insane coordination. One of the things that really ruined Reason was the forward hold from 4G, froyotech. Now I see everybody's all in the server. See, I just make everybody so excited over Analysts. Like, he's
Top
starting.
quality analysis. I wish you guys could see this. This is
we can.
pretty
So the
intense.
crowd can. We've got a good look at what's going on.
I don't know if you can even hear us at this point.
I mean, I can't hear myself think, but that's
No,
because
I can't.
I don't think anyway.
But the game is
Oh,
going
here we go.
live. Here we go. You guys want to join scrap.tf/tftv as well for the raffle that we're running at the same time as this best of 3. But for now, we are going live with CP Sunshine. It's nerdRage versus froyotech. These are the grand finals of i55.
Here we go. We are into it. First mid here. And this is a best of 5 series here, so it'll be a long and grueling one. All to become the world champion of TF2. Starkey going in for a huge bomb right away. Flippy cleaned up on that damage. Actually, he ended up dying. Ash was able to finish off Starkey, but that'll be one player down a side. Rib is going to fall on nerdRage as well here as Froyo is just pushing across. nerdRage is starting to back themselves up here. Bandy goes in for a bomb as well. He's able to get one Clockwork cleaning up on some of that damage, and Blaze finishes off Bull there, so that'll be a complete wipe. Froyo will grab mid and roll into second here.
Absolutely. It looked like nerdRage were in such a good position, but they didn't push across the point as a team. Stark flew in, and then Rib was isolated and alone, so unable to capitalize on the space that they'd created for themselves. They pushed across the point, but couldn't deliver the DM into the choke of froyotech. So for now, we are holding last on this this map, CP Sunshine. froyotech are going to be considering how to push here with that full Uber advantage that they have. Very difficult to push this last with the off classes that nerdRage are running. Zebasai on the heavy and Flippy sniping. He's got an angle on that right-hand side, but the Uber's going to come in from the left. Stark instantly taken down, and Tech jumps away, but they put no damage onto Zebasai. Banny and Clockwork, though, coming in along with Ash, and they are cleaning everybody up here.
That is going to be the first round over to froyotech, taking a 1-0 lead. Absolute textbook TF2. They're really winning that mid, wiping them, having that full Uber to push into last with absolutely no problems at all right there. So we will now take you into our second mid of the game, see if maybe nerdRage can get themselves back on track. Rib beefing the rollout just a bit there maybe. So see how Froyo decides to get back into this mid here. nerdRage moving a bit towards the right-hand side, at least a few players. Tech is already up top. Stark going in for that same bomb that he did last time. He's up on top of the roof. Rib starts it off, taken down to Duatna. Tech was able to get Banny as well. Starkey and Zebasai go down as well as a trade, but Tech, who's very hurt, needs to sit back, take some heals here. It's a 4v4 fight. Tech is able to grab Clockwork as well. Might even be able to get Ash underneath the point. He actually goes down now, so it's just 2 guys up. Shade and Blaze, they're long gone.
Oh, but Tech's going in. Tech, he looked like he was there. He really wanted to chase through that choke point, but Blaze and Shade are able to get out. Shade is going to have his Uber charge, and nerdRage are full up apart from Rib. They're probably going to wait for him before they trade their Ubers. But Stark and Blaze taking a duel on the flank, and Blaze gets a nice rocket at the end there. Zebo's going to come in. Absolutely destroys Blaze with 3 crisp shots. And Duatna weak as well. Shade and Ash, the only ones left alive. And great play from nerdRage to be able to push this forward. Ash is going to be taking a ton of damage. Goes down as well, but Shade has managed to get out with his Uber.
Yeah, that's big that Shade got out here, but they still want to push this while there's 2 guys down. Blaze comes up on heavy. nerdRage, well, they were going for a hard push in here. It's just Zebasai who's in right now. They kind of left him out to dry, but they forced that Uber out of froyotech, actually, which was fantastic because now that will allow nerdRage to just push straight back in here. Flippy goes down as well, though. nerdRage down 2 players, so they do have to be careful. but they should be able to push this straight in here. Froyo is getting a bit aggressive in towards this lobby. There's a stick
great
trap right
rockets.
outside. Stark taking out Clockwork. Now nerdRage ready to make their move. They have the respawns in. Looks like they want to take this under to try and even this game up.
20 seconds, Gecks. 20 seconds before this Uber advantage becomes nothing. And they're going to move from the bottom. The Uber comes in already. Tech and Zebasai leading it forwards. A frag onto Warner. No stickies on the point. Tech plays the point instantly, but that's going to make everyone else collapse here. They've done a lot of damage to froyotech, but now they need to finish the frags. Only 2 alive. Clockwork.
That is it. nerdRage tying this game right back up here. First map in the best of 5. And it's all tied up now at 1-1. A great response coming out there from nerdRage.
Yeah, and thick and fast the rounds so far. Let's see. Stark has been the initiator on these previous 2 middles. Let's see if he goes for the same bomb again. It really forces froyotech to play a little more passive, but then nerdRage, they're not swarming on them. They're just playing it slowly across the point.
So much good damage out onto Dewatna too at the beginning. Rib got some great stickies, immediately took him out of the fight. Banny is going to get flippy though. And now Tech trying to re-jump on top of the bell tower here to find some damage. Actually, Banny is extremely hurt up there. Somebody can clean up on it very easily, but Zebasai goes down. nerdRage down 3 players now as Starkey is out of it because of Clockwork. They just have to back up once again here. Bull did stay alive, and they will at least have Uber for last.
Yeah, Banny and Dewatna are going to move up into that lighthouse area. I don't think nerdRage are going to... Yeah, they are. They're going to commit to it and try and defend. They still have Stark and Zebasai down, but the Uber time will buy them the respawns. They just need to make sure that everybody else doesn't die, because Rib is out there. Oh, Bull's going to get trapped here. There's no way he's getting it out of there. Gets absolutely mulched by those Uber red players. And now nerdRage picking up 2 frags of their own, though. Possibly going to attempt to push out and get onto Shade here?
Maybe. There's... I don't know. Froyo Steam's pretty content to just hang out here, and nerdRage not really trying to push it in too much. I don't know. That was a questionable Bull going down. They stayed in just a bit too long there, I think. But
yeah, there was no exit strategy, was there? There was no way the Bull was getting out from that Uber charge, because if you trade the Ubers on this second point, the players attacking have so much better position. If they're around that lighthouse area, they've got such a huge height advantage. You really have to get out of the Ubers or commit your entire team to it. I don't think you can really take the Uber situations in the scenario where you're waiting for the respawns. So now froyotech are going to have their Uber. There's 20 seconds until nerdRage get it, and it looks like they're coming from the top left and popping straight away once again.
They're in here. There is a level 3 gun up. Clockwork is actually able to take that out. Banny gets a good rocket into Rib. He's still not down yet, though. Tech will fall. Actually, 2 players, 3 out of it from froyotech here. And Blaze will fall as well. It's just 2 guys up. Dewatna and Shade, they're out. nerdRage successfully holding off that push from froyotech, and they will be able to come out and grab second.
Dewatna and Shade have disappeared. Again, the Uber advantage for nerdRage, but they're so far away here, the players of froyotech. And this is a really difficult point to actually use an Uber in effectively and kill people. The mid is so open, and you have to go so far to be able to get onto any of the froyotech players. But the best scenario for nerdRage here is really to try and walk it in without getting forced. Maybe bait out a bomb, but with Blaze going down there, that's opening things up for them a little bit. But froyotech still want to take this fight. They now have their Uber, and they are popped off. They've lost their pocket and their demo. Not looking good here for nerdRage.
They need to get themselves out right now, but they have a chasing froyotech. They are going to get crunched right inside of this flank side here. A full wipe on the side of nerdRage. froyotech just pouncing on them, and they knew it was time to go in for that play. They will grab second. As Shade did go down right at the end of that, but I imagine Froyo is going to be in here. Banny's already in on the point. The respawns are coming out from nerdRage just a bit. It's Tech and Rip that have to try and defend this point. Froyo is still flooding onto it. Zebasai
this is going huge there.
It's a 2v2 with Dewatna flip. Oh, Ash goes down as well. They hold it off. Absolutely massive.
Rib putting himself on the point there, throwing stickies out left, right, and center. Did so much damage, and the spawns from Zebasai and Flippy just in the nick of time to block that one. They dodged a bullet there with 8.5 minutes knocked off the map. The first 2 rounds came very quickly, but this one has been incredibly back and forth. Uber's now equal, but froyotech going for a non-Uber push. Blaze has just launched himself in, making so much room and taking Zebo down to about 10 health. And he's going for the frag on the medic as well, but Clockwork in behind. Two-shot for Bull and Flippy.
Oh, clockwork. There it is. There's two guys up on nerdRage. They're going to recap second. They have Shade as well for the heals, and they're already getting in towards last year's Episode, trying to make a hero play, but it's just not going to happen. They're already on the point. Froyo is going to take a 2-1 lead.
Fantastic stuff. And Clockwork already 19 for 6. That's just insane.
Unreal.
Blaze 10 for 5. It really is the flank for froyotech so far, just going massive. It's insane. But now look at this. This is something completely different. Flippy sniping to mid here on Sunshine. They're putting their eggs in the Flippy basket. See if they deliver. See if they hatch.
Oh, there it is. That is huge to start off the mid. The Flippy sniper to mid works out beautifully. Duatna is going to be taken out of this fight immediately, but Bandy tried to bomb in as well, get something out. Bull is very, very hurt here. I hear another headshot. Ring off, and he gets the body shot as well, taking down Ash. There's two guys up. Clockwork is just about to get melted here. Shade was already out of the fight, but that is
Shade left
fantastic.
1,000 years ago. Shade realized that one was going badly. I think as soon as Duatna got headshot, he was out of there. I mean, when we were looking at those team stats earlier, his average deaths per game has been 6. 6 deaths per game. That's nothing. I mean, Bull's been doing very well on Medic, and he's got 10. Shade is staying alive so often, and it stops froyotech getting rolled in these situations. If that had been a full wipe, nerdRage would have already been pushing last right now. But they are wary of the Uber from froyotech because that could really cripple a push. Thankfully, they have Flippy to be able to open things up for them. They just need to work him into an angle where he can get good vision on somebody useful. It's looking like he's trying to pick Blaze or Clockwork on this area. Oh, just misses that shot. But now they know where he is, so he's just going to rotate over to the other side. See if he can get an angle here on somebody. There's nobody really holding close on the left side. But oh, there's the scout again, but doesn't manage to find him.
Tough
He's
shot.
just going to be peeking in until he finds somebody, though.
He takes a lot of damage, though. Did manage to get out alive, but that is the only off class we see here so far. Blaze is going to get Stark, though, and that may hold this up for nerdRage. They're already starting to back out of lobby. Froyo getting quite aggressive here, and Blaze bombs in as well. He's going to catch Rib out, I think. They pop the Uber to save Rib. Excellent play by Bull, and Blaze actually gets taken out, but Shade still has yet to use it. Actually just using it now. Zepasai is already in on last at the moment. The rest of nerdRage is not in. They managed to get out, but Clockwork is also wandering around on second at the moment. Tech is going to destroy him, though, and the headshot coming out from Flippy takes
Here
Bandy.
comes Ash, though. Oh, no, Ash peeked up, realized they were going for last, and just runs all the way back. He needs to help the rest of his team. But with Tech getting taken down there. Oh, look at this player on the point. Stark just edging the tip of the point. And he's just going to be dancing around, but they've lost Flippy and Stark here. And I really think they should be a lot further out. Bull's been left on his own, though, with the death of those players. And he's trying to escape Blaze, but Blaze... There's no way! There's no way! My word, Bull avoiding that bomb by Blaze, giving him the jukes and the arrow to finish it off. My word, what a sick play by him. And that just keeps them in the Uber fight.
That is absolutely I thought for sure he was dead meat when
with the
he
first
came out.
rocket.
I know. I
Dodges
had no
two.
idea. That was just unreal. Gets the arrow frag as well. Totally keeping nerdRage in this one right here. They're coming up on the Uber right now. Flippy still up on Sniper. No off classes on the side of froyotech, though, as they start to square this one up. They haven't really gained full entrance into the lobby yet. Tech has just made his way in there now, and he's trying to make sure things are clear so the rest of his team can come in, but it seems as though that is the case. Now they can get inside.
It's interesting to me that when Stark and Flippy died there, Stark did not switch over to Scout. So they're not running this strategy where they want the double Scout and Sniper on this map. They really value Stark on that roaming role. And I find that very interesting for pushing on last because they might miss that Scout as they come in and want to try and exchange the Ubers on that right-hand side. Tech gets juggled around, but there's a fully charged body shot onto Ash. They're going to try and bait in some Froyo players on the right-hand side and catch them. Although Rib's on the rotate and they're moving bottom with the heals. Oh no.
Oh, there's Flippy yet again. He came to play tonight. Flippy getting a third one, taking down Shade. Now this should surely be a round for nerdRage. They're on the point and they tie this game up at 2-2.
And this is when Flippy is on form. Flippy has not been on form, in my opinion, for this tournament yet. I haven't seen him really go big like this. It's not the flashy shots that we're looking for with Flippy. It's that consistency on Sniper. The ability to get picks in any situation and make Sniper a complete advantage for them, unable to be turned into a disadvantage by the plays of Froyo.
He just went absolutely massive that round. Kept nerdRage in it left and right, as well as the plays from Bull. And here comes Froyo into this one. They're playing heavily on their left-hand side, going towards nerdRage's Cafe. Banny and Tech are having a battle up onto the point here. Bull goes down immediately from a bomb from Blaze, and now that's 2 out of it on the side of nerdRage, though. Ash is going to be taken out of it. Banny falls as well. Headshot coming out from Flippy to take out Clockwork, and now it's just 2 up on the side of froyotech. Duatna and Shade, as usual, are the ones getting out safe and sound here. They will have to most likely back up towards last year, but nerdRage is going to grab this point.
Yeah, I don't think they'll have to back up towards last, though, because they have the Uber charge. They should definitely be able to defend up at choke, but Bull's gone for something interesting. He's running that crit screen. They got the crits and the sniper going on, so they're intending to try and make Shade force very early with the sniper and then re-crits on them as they back out through one of these choke points. Stark also hiding. It looks like he's going to be the one to force them. Finds the frag up to Warner as well. And Stark's in behind on the back cap. This is going to be really difficult for froyotech to manage. Do they stack the point and Brave them coming back? No, they're sending people back for Stark. That point caps quite slowly there. Oh, what a shot by Stark actually onto Ash. Knocks him down super weak. In the meantime, they've left enough froyotech players on mid, though, to clean up the rest of nerdRage. And now there's only really Stark behind to deal with. Oh! What? My game died as well.
That's unreal. Wow.
Everyone's game died there, apart from CommanderX's, who's looking as an analyst. Literally everyone else crashed, so I'm going to be casting from CX's monitor until the rest of our streams are up. What do we see here? We've got Stark moving forwards, trying to get damage out on everybody else, but as Duatna gets the respawn, they're going to be pushing forwards. froyotech moving through that flank area as far as I can see. Pushing now through the flank. The Ubers are up. Oh, the Uber is up for Shade, actually, but Bull still on 72%, getting pressured out. Oh, it's crits as well. He's still running that crit streak. 90% crits now. He's going to be building it up. But this is going to be interesting because nerdRage are on the defense with a full crit streak. And Shade still has that Uber charge. So froyotech in a great position to start leading this 3-2. Oh, and we're back as well with the game.
We are right back into it here. nerdRage currently sitting on the last point, and they look like as though they want to start moving out here. As they are starting to make their way out now. They actually pop that crit screen. Bull's able to grab 2. Duatna and Blaze both go down from that crit pop, but there is Stark who actually finds Clockwork back there on last. He's able to take him down, though Shade did live through that crits play, so he should be able to come back in with his Uber here. froyotech inside of the nerdRage Cafe will be wrapping back around towards the choke point. nerdRage getting second, at least for right now, but they will soon have froyotech pushing them in on this second point.
The Uber is coming in now from that flank side, and they lead it forward, lose Ash, but trade for Flippy. Flippy now running that scout roll. Duatna's trying to get a pipe onto Star Day, who's just dived all the way behind them, trying to draw players back, but Duatna's focused firmly forwards, managed to find the frag on Bull, who was on 75% crit screen there. They only needed another few seconds to get that up, but they just couldn't build in time. Flippy already respawning on Engineer. They are going to attempt to turtle this on last a little bit until froyotech have their Uber charge up, and then they're going to be repelling an Uber advantage push. It's going to be around 50%, maybe even more, 60% advantage. That's a lot to hold off here.
It is going to be very, very tough. We are tied up 2-2, 12 minutes left in this game. froyotech is now just outside of lobby, and they are getting geared up to go on this push on in to potentially take a 3-2 lead here. But like you said, you do have Flippy up on Engineer trying to get that level 3 up. Zebasai on Heavy. but that is the only off-classing that you'll see from nerdRage. froyotech now getting themselves in here, taking it in through the upper right-hand side, getting onto Flippy right away. Sentry gun goes down as well as they send themselves across the point. That heavy is still up though. Zebasai quite healthy for the moment. Actually, Rib goes down though, and Stark, Ash and Banny both got taken out of the fight thanks to Zebasai and Tech, but it's just 3 up. Actually, that's going to be Duatna. Got Zebasai there. They're just standing right on the point. Bull is going to have to do something huge. Flippy comes out of spawn as well to try and save the day. Duatna hits the pipe onto Bull. He's just going, delaying as long as he possibly can. Rib getting his respawn, and he does take down Duatna with the pipe. Shade had to leave, could not stay in any longer. nerdRage somehow holds off that push.
Yeah, that was crazy. Bull just had to dance around the point. It's a pity for froyotech that it was only Duatna because it's the most inconsistent source of damage when you have to resort to pipes and reloading your stickies to try and kill the medic really quickly before anybody else spawns. Flippy came to save him as well. But froyotech have engineered themselves a 70% Uber advantage as well because Shade escaped that one and Bull was forced to die when he blocked the point. Looks like it's going to be the exact same Uber once again. Really, they need some loose cannon spam on that top left perhaps just to delay the Uber even more because they've been all right so far. Tech hits a shot onto Blaze there to take him out. froyotech's Uber has disappeared. They're not able to get onto that top right-hand side and contest nerdRage just yet, but they've lost 2 players here, Froyo. Is that going to prompt the push out of nerdRage? It probably should. They've got 85% Uber as well. They need to watch for anybody going for a sneaky back cap. I can see Clockwork playing around there, wondering if he can get behind, prodding at the potential holes in nerdRage's defense.
Clockwork's going for it.
Stark's on last. It's going to be a 1v1 on last. No, it was Zebasai and Rid coming back as well to deal with him. They're looking for that easy pick on Clockwork before they go aggressive. Duatna so high up in the air. Oh, but the frag anyway, even though Tech missed that air shot. And Rib are going to push in. Rib are going to push in? nerdRage are going to push in with Rib leading. 4 players up front. froyotech, they've lost their huge scout player and Duatna as well. They're missing a lot of firepower. Blaze going to bomb. He's just trying to get out, I think. He's jumping around.
They are looking to re-enter this fight, though, from Cafe. They popped it out, and they will just send it straight into choke here. Banny and Blaze are still out of this fight, though, and nerdRage, well, with a couple of players pretty dinged up, and Flippy actually goes down to Clockwork. nerdRage still poking around inside of this choke. They're just staring at each other from across the mid currently, and now finally start gaining a little bit of ground here. They're just spamming them. Shade took a lot of damage. Duatna goes down. Shade trying to desperately get himself out of here. He's got Clockwork to escort him back, but nerdRage looking solid here. They just want to push straight into this point. They have an Uber to use as well. The rest of Froyo pretty much backed up here. You still have Banny and Clockwork poking around just a bit, but they, for now, are just sitting inside of lobby. nerdRage should keep moving if possible.
Yeah, I think they have an opportunity here. They know that froyotech love to play aggressively when the other team has the Uber charge. It's just that they put so much spam on you, it's really difficult to use that Uber forward. But now that they've dropped 1 player, they're looking like they want to push in. They are going from that left-hand side right now. Duatna takes a lot of damage, but the counter pump comes out in here, Gecks.
And they do get that counter pop. Banny and Blaze are both out. Tech will follow as well. It's a 4v4 fight, but nerdRage doesn't want to stick around any longer for this one. They've already gotten themselves out here, and Clockwork and Flippy are battling it out underneath, and Clockwork is the victor of that battle, and nerdRage has just gotten all the way out here. We should see even Ubers unless something drastically goes wrong, but they do back up all the way into mid here. Froyo is going to come out and cap second.
Let's have a listen to the nerdRage comms as they prepare to repel this push with Flippy on sniper.
Pretty close to Cafe. They might be pushing this. They might be pushing this. I know.
Like, just do what you did there. Like, push Cafe, and if they give you the space, take it. Don't be like passive here.
Let's go for the demo when it comes
You
close.
see someone take? Yeah, 2 people.
I'll check if there's stickers above. No stickers above Cafe. Oh, stickers above Cafe, actually. Stickers are gone.
Oops, I see.
Got rushing mid. I'm weak. He killed me.
Seems like the comms perhaps a little desynced there for some reason. Zebasai saying that they killed him.
Oh my, Flippy just had the best look at Shade, but missed the shot. I don't think you'll get a better look at a shot like that. It's he had it perfect for him, but just couldn't quite connect on it, so he'll have to go ahead and retry here, as he is playing from that Cafe side. with that sniper, seeing how he can open things up here. It all revolves around him, really, to open things up. But nerdRage actually just starting to walk through a little bit here. Banny's going to bomb over and try and deal with flippy. Sends him up in the sky. He's very hurt, but flippy actually stays alive. Banny pays for it. duatna was able to finish off flippy, but we do see a little haphazard fight here on second, but nerdRage just wants to back themselves up here.
Yeah, nerdRage just want to sit back passively and retain control of mid. They don't want to commit to a fight without flippy. They really want to open something up before they go for it. And so I think once again they're going to be pushing in through that cafe area, but froyotech are going to be feeling like they don't want to put themselves in a position where nerdRage can just get shot after shot out without being properly pressured. I imagine they're going to try and apply some pressure on the flank or on choke. At the same time, Clockwork's actually running in now, taking the fight with Zebasai, does manage to find that frag. There's 1v1 from him. Ash goes down so weak there, 6 HP, but isn't going to get cleaned up by anybody. nerdRage playing very passively because of that death of Zebasai, and froyotech are going to move now with the heals and both of the soldiers through that flank area. Blaze bombing in, attempts to get onto somebody, but it's sick air shot there, and the frag in the end from Stark. Stark's going to counterbomb on his own, I think. Back into them, the counter sack, but they do still have that sniper, but Stark now in behind.
They are starting to move through here. nerdRage is through the flank side. Tech is going to open it up just a bit by jumping the point. They also have Zebasai in there who manages to find duatna, but
force the Uber
right after he did force that Uber, which is massive because now nerdRage has a full one to just take on this team fight here. They pop it off onto Rib though, and Flippy's going to, or excuse me, Tech is going to be able to find Banny. Stark gets shade. Big picks coming through from nerdRage, and now it is a 4v3 fight. nerdRage still working around here. Fantastic stuff from Rib, and now there's going to be Tech going down. Still a battle going out here on second. Stark gets Clockwork as well.
All this DM play from nerdRage. These players are so fantastically good. Ash juggled up in the air, he hits the air shot, and again, Stark is going huge. He's monstrous here on Soldier. It's amazing. He's hitting things left, right, and center. And Flippy and Zebasai finishing everything off really, really well. But they're gonna look to push forwards here. They've got no Uber advantage, and Flippy not on sniper, but let's see how they opt to push it in about 15 seconds when they have their Ubers up.
They have like a slight bit of advantage here, and nerdRage does. I don't know if it's something that they're aware of. It's only just under 20%. I don't know if they want to move off that immediately. They should already be in if they do, and they actually look like they're ready to go with it, but it has to be very quick. As soon as they get it and they look like they want to go in for it, they need to hunt down Shade immediately on this one, or he's going to get the Uber. Mid-fight, he's so close. Shade got the Uber, popped it off. nerdRage need to get themselves out, though they did get a pick onto duatna, but Bull went down.
Yeah, I think they need to recommit to this because they lost Bull and they already did a lot of damage. That's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to throw everything they can at them here. Everyone from froyotech really weak apart from Blaze. Flippy in with a nice shot onto Shade. Only Ash alive and responding to duatna. duatna might be in time here. Gonna bomb onto the point. Oh, duatna saving it there for froyotech. So close. But Bull is gonna respawn a little bit before Shade. There's going to be a small Uber advantage, but the real play is on Stark. nerdRage, Starky, moving in through that bottom entrance as the invisible man.
And they're doing this this thing that we saw before. We saw it on Process when these guys played, as well as some of the other maps in that best of 3, where they run Flippy on Sniper and Stark on Spy as well. I would imagine Froyo is aware that they've done this in the past and could be running a Spy, but he currently is just sitting right around the point here, looking for his opportunity to open this push, this round wide open here. He's still lurking around. He wants to wait for this perfect opportunity, though.
He's got a vast amount of patience when he plays Spy. He will sit there forever, even after the Ubers are traded. He's in behind them now. Oh, he's missed the stab. Oh, he doesn't quite manage to get it, but the Uber charge is popped from Shade, and they've lost Stark and now Rib. Things might not be so good for them. They need to set up outside and make sure that Bull gets out of this one. They have to give up second. froyotech are just going to be marching forwards, trying to clean up any frags they can find. Unfortunately, the Spy and Sniper not doing well for them there.
Yeah, they didn't really have a good team composition to take a fight like that. I mean, it would have been worth it if they could have gotten a pick beforehand, but they didn't get it. Getting blasted there is Stark. He's got to run back into the flank. Banny with a beautiful shot there, and now nerdRage may get crunched in here. Rib goes down to bluee, who came in towards that choke point, but they are starting to back themselves up. Each team down a player here, and nerdRage will be up on the Uber very shortly here. Shade just behind him on that, but froyotech pushing into second.
They are indeed. They're moving it through that choke point. Banny's going to shoot. Stark goes flying into the choke, but neither of them really putting out much damage. Tech manages to clean up Banny. Stark has spotted Clockwork behind, I'm sure. I'm sure someone's seen him, but he's coming up behind Flippy now. Have they heard him behind at all? Do they realize? Stark may have just spotted him once again. Yeah, he must have caught sight of him. He's watching him fly around. Zebasai and Stark hunting down Clockwork, but in this situation, nerdRage are not sending everyone behind. And nice shot from Stark to take down Clockwork there and end that threat behind them. Equal Ubers now, and Flippy on Sniper, so that may well be the play of the hour again, just waiting to open something up. If they get this frag on Blaze, though, they might well just push straight off it. He's going to escape with his escape plan.
Clockwork is still down, but he's just about to get his respawn. The Uber did come out of Shade there. They were able to grab Tech as well. They're inside of the choke. Counter pop comes out from nerdRage. Flippy and a few others have gone down. It's just Bull, Rib, and Zebasai. They may be in a bit of trouble here. Zebasai winning that 1v1 with Ash, but Zebasai coming in for some good shots on Duatma as well. It is a 3v3 fight at the moment, but Froyo may just have a bit of positional advantage. Clockwork's in trying to take care of Rib. Bull just needs to back out. Getting a good arrow was Rib from Bull and managed to actually keep him alive with that. So Froyo's going to grab second, but we see even Ubers.
Yeah, we do indeed. The stalemate occurs, and that is the draw there on that first map. But we can't possibly end it on a draw.
No.
We've got to go to a golden cap. I wasn't even keeping my eyes on the time. I didn't even realize that they were in that situation there. These two teams, it was just absolutely fantastic action back and forth all the time.
Really was. So, you know, what do you guys think about that last game there? Very tight one, huh?
Oh, yeah, can we get War's microphone hot, please, to match the man himself?
Oh, hey, you little sod, stop it. Anyway,
there we go.
Yeah, it was really, really good. That map was absolutely insane, really back and forth. I mean, it looked a little bit rocky at start for nerdRage because they didn't really get off to the best of start. They gave up one really, really quick round. But I think they reacted from that really, really good. They just sort of started to slow down the pace a little bit more. They didn't let Froyo get any sort of, they didn't let him get multiple rounds. When you're sort of, to be honest, if I was them, you drop a round within like the first minute and you let Clockwork get 19 frags.
Oh, ridiculous.
That quickly, yeah, you're going to be crapping a brick.
Yeah,
so
what was that? Was that 9 minutes or something? 8 minutes?
It was 8 minutes and he had 19 frags.
19 frags.
I mean, I don't know if the logs actually work. I think they went out. No, I can actually get logs up, so I'll do that as soon as I can.
I'm afraid it sounds like we don't have any
Fine.
time because we're going live with the golden cap right now. This is nerdRage versus froyotech. The score in full time was 2-2, but now they're going live to our first mid, Gecks.
Here we go. This is the mid that counts right here, really, as Stark is trying to come in from the cafe side, and Banny's going to jump up top as well. Tech was on top of the bell tower. Blaze is just about to bomb in from the Froyo cafe, trying to get something on the Bull. I think Banny's going to come in and finish that frag off. Bull and Rib are both down here, but the headshot comes out, or the body shot, excuse me, from Flippy onto Shade. A huge return frag. It's a 3v2 fight on the mid at the moment. Actually 2v2 as the respawners are coming through. Banny stays out of this one, sitting over in the flank side, but looks like nerdRage will at least be able to pick up this mid. Banny is poking back around.
Yeah, Banny's back in on the mid. He actually spots Zebasai, and then he's just going to fly out of the choke. He's running pockets, of course, with that gunboat. So he's got a lot of mobility. He's going to, I thought he was going to trade the frag there with Stark, but Stark missed his last rocket. And Banny picks up the healthcare. Will be able to get back out to his medic here. But nerdRage are in control of the point. froyotech want to take it straight back off them.
They do. They're coming right in to pile on the pressure. Stark is down. Blaze is out as well here. And Vandy's going to go down Ash as well. nerdRage finding frags left and right here, and they're just going to continue to push through this jump
there's a
point.
crit
They're
slide.
coming up on the crits creek as well. They have it. They're ready to go. They don't have a demo man necessarily to pop it off on, but they can get in here. They're sitting.
They got 10 seconds, Gecks.
They got to get going. They're moving in right now. They want to give it off on to Tech, see what he can find, but it's my goodness.
You can't do
How
this
can
to
you
me.
do it?
Can't do this to me. This is the pivotal moment of this last push. Is just now. I mean, Rib is miles away. There's no chance they're going to use it on him. But it's 79%. That's about another 8 seconds. Maybe more like 9. There is enough time, but Tech's not in a position to get a crits onto Shade here. He's on low ground, even though he does have a little bit of elevation. Shade is really high up over there. I can't see this crits working unless they get a ton of frags on the point on the fragging classes or something.
No, I don't think it's going to work at all. It's just going to be way too easy for them to dodge all these rockets here. It's just, like you said, not good positioning for this type of play. I mean, they have to go for it regardless, obviously, but it's just, I don't think it's going to work at all here. Froyo is still down 2 players. I think they're just about to get the respawns. Regardless, nope, actually we're right back into it here. It looks like they're going to take that crits in. He was able to get Ash and knock Shade down to just 5 health. Bull goes down though shortly afterwards. It's going to be 4v5 on the last point. A lot of players from nerdRage very, very hurt right now. I think Froyo is going to be able to hold this one off here. Flippy's trying to get out if he can, but successful hold from Froyo.
That's so unlucky from Tech. He manages to hit the rocket onto Shade, and it knocked him down to, what, 10 health or something? He tanks a crit rocket just on the edge of the blast radius, so it keeps him alive. Oh, that's so unfortunate. They're going to be kicking themselves that they weren't able to get that, but they did overcommit a little bit, and they've lost the second point as a result. Bull's back on the medigun. Ash and Banny are now alive, and Stark's bombing in onto Shade, has forced that overcharge out in the choke area, and the froyotech are going to want to be pushing this one forwards. They've got all 6 of their players alive, trying to take as much room as they can, stacking that point, making sure that Stark doesn't get the forward spawn, and they can continue pushing in here. 6 versus 5, but Flippy will be trying his best to even out the numbers.
Now, do you like that they go sniper here? I mean, they have advantage at the moment.
But I think they're so comfortable running sniper that they can do it in any situation. Flippy can hit the shots in team fights. It really doesn't make a difference. If he's hitting his shots, he's hitting his shots. They don't use him as a sniper to break stalemates. They use him as a sniper just because he hits everything. So that was where the pause happened. I can't see anything that really would affect the gameplay because of that pause. The shot rings out from Flippy. Oh, he gets the frag.
Beautiful stuff. He's going to find another as well. Onto Duatna. The body shots. nerdRage just absolutely plowing through froyotech right here. Shade's already out, but it's basically a wipe. They'll get mid. Tech now moving into second with the rest of the team. Shade not yet up on that Uber, but he could get himself out, which was fantastic for Froyo because they will at least have an Uber to defend this with, and they got their respawns.
And I'm so impressed at how Shade gets himself out of every bad situation for froyotech. His ability to read the game and read exactly when things are going wrong is just perfect. Tech and Zebasai leading the supercharge in. The counter pop comes out of Froyo, and nerdRage are forced to flee. They'll probably try a repush on that, well, on any side, as long as they can get Flippy in behind them to attempt a bit of artillery fire and help them out with the push. But for now, the Uber's just being built up. There's a little bit of a stalemate. Flippy's still trying to get those shots off on the left-hand side through the shutter door. It's got a bit of an angle if anybody peeks, but it's not a very aggressive position. It's not a very wide angle. It's really tight.
He's going for it here, peeking out very slowly, but still not finding anything as of yet. He's going to have Vanny pushing him. He actually goes down to some stickies from Duatna, so nerdRage may have to back up a little bit here. They'll stand on top of the point at second. They don't necessarily need to go too far out here, but Clockwork is also poking around just a bit onto the point, and they still have Zebasai hiding down underneath. See maybe if he can grab something.
He's waiting for a pick on anybody who tries to push out into that lower area. Potentially, he's anticipating a flank from Clockwork or Ash as they come up through that area. He's trying to get the jump on them. Zebasai takes a bit of a fight with Blaze there, removes his buff, but that's all about. It's about all he can do. Look at Flippy though.
Do see Flippy up on Spy. This will be very interesting. Both teams have the Uber. He's going in for it. Ash is up on Engineer. at the moment, but that's the only off class I believe we see here. Sentry gun goes out. Flippy's actually going to go ahead and sap it. Take it down. He comes in, stabs the Wanda as well. The Ubers were popped, but that is fantastic.
Ash accidentally commits suicide by changing class outside of the spawn. So they've lost 3 players there and the sentry gun. Here come nerdRage for the golden cap. And they
Absolutely. That is unreal, man. Golden cap win. That is massive stuff from nerdRage. What a decision to go spy right there. Flippy comes up huge.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. These teams are so close. The 2-2 at the end of the 30 minutes, and then that golden cap was not a quick one. It went backwards and forwards. Either of the teams could have taken it, but in the end, it's Flippy who's the player making the space, and that's how nerdRage normally play with Flippy. They normally have him as the catalyst for all of their pushes. He's able to really open things up in a way that nobody else does, or maybe can, but he's returned to his good form of how I expect Flippy to play.
Yeah, it's really ballsy as well to sort of, have the cojones to actually just sort of off-class like this. Is really good. And one thing that I've sort of noticed throughout the game is that nerdRage are really comfortable with off-classing and swapping things up, whereas froyotech are just doing standard. I mean, that engineer on last is, from what I can remember, the only time when they had an off class. I think maybe
heavy on last once, but
they still.
It's very subtle standard stuff.
They still
it?
just favour playing standard classes, standard setups. I mean, I'm going to try and load up the logs from the actual game first before we look into the golden cap. Hopefully, this will work without any problems whatsoever. But because of my, just how good I am at this.
First time.
You've done it.
I've done it.
You've done it. You're still fiddling with things.
I've also done it again. Oh, look at that.
Well done. You've done it again.
Sorted by kill. So Clockwork during the main game, it had, standard 30 frags.
But then, is that standard 30 frags? Because in the first 7-8 minutes, he got 19 of those. So for the rest of the game, he got 11 frags or something. So I mean, he was insane at the beginning.
Yeah.
Things slowed down a little bit towards the end. The overall picture is a good one, but towards the end of the map, or really for the majority of the map, after the first 10 minutes or so, he was playing a negative KD game. He just went huge at the beginning.
One thing I'd like to point out is Shade's 5 deaths.
It's so good.
I mean, he is really good at keeping himself alive. To once again, last year on Snakewater against Epsilon, it was in the upper bracket final. He died once, and that is just the amount. It's
amazing.
He's just really good. I think the only other person that can even match that is probably Nox. But he's just so good at just thinking, all right, this is completely screwed. I'm out, and he does it so well. And I think because of that, there were times when nerdRage were really dominant, and I think we could even see from them that they would have been able to get a few more rounds. But because he's able to just get out of these situations and actually keep and make sure that the Uber advantage is as big as it could be, it's really good.
It saves whole rounds for froyotech. Just that single play of him getting out of a bad fight on mid or a bad fight on second, it saves the entire round because it stops an Uber advantage push into last, which is, most of the time you're going to succeed on them. And it turns it into an Uber v Uber where you have an equal opportunity, really, to push out from the last. It's a great stuff from them.
Yeah, Riv as well was doing really well that game, I feel. He was really on point. He absolutely sort of really actually did a lot of damage, like in so many situations that completely stifled froyotech in multiple places, especially on lasts. I mean, overall, the game was absolutely amazing, and I feel that nerdRage sort of deserved to actually win. I mean, Flippy, again, oh my goodness gracious, mate.
Especially now we're going into Viaduct.
Yeah, I mean, he is going to be feeling really confident. And I believe this is, I'll have it written down, this is Froyo's pick. So I'm not quite sure if they'll be feeling this confident going into this map with such a, like getting completely pounded by Flippy. I mean, there were so many times where he just created so many openings and so much space just from one pick. And it seems like whenever Banny goes down, they seem a little bit disorientated. They don't have as much of an idea, like a clear objective as to what to do. I mean, Banny again on this map top damaging, which is obviously no surprise.
So that makes it, what does that make it? 14 for 16?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it just gets better and better and better. But Bunny not really having the same impact in kills. KD, his KD and the rest has been phenomenal. It's been the best in the tournament, and he wasn't getting into it that game. He wasn't able to find the frags. nerdRage were doing a very good job of being able to kite the Ubers when they had a disadvantage.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, they were so close as well. The game was so close throughout the entire thing. The exchanges, I mean, there were a few times when like nerdRage came out on top, but they just did so well. I mean, even their last holds, with the off-class things that they had, I mean, they were reading the situation perfectly, and there weren't many like times when, you know, sometimes Zebosai, and they look like the kind of, I mean, he's the kind of guy that goes spy at the wrong time, and, you know, they'll just roll into last when, you know, he shouldn't really have done it. But every single off-class that they ran was perfect.
Yeah.
And every single, you know, Uber situation was, they were so close at the end of it. I mean, there were so many times, I mean, even on Uber pushes where Dewatner, there was that time when, what was it? It was Dewatner just jumped in at the very last second, stopping from nerdRage from capping. It was, I think it was Flippy and Rib. And then there was that exact same situation, but on the opposite side, where Rib then had to come in and jump in from respawning and stop Froyotech from capping. The whole thing was just ridiculous.
Yeah, it was such a good game. And how much do you think Ash will be kicking himself on Engineer for switching class when
I
he wasn't
feel
in
so
Spawn?
sorry for him, though, because I
killing
think
himself.
I think Nico's done that. There was another, I think it was a game.
Shintas did it at one of the I series.
Someone else did it in this
was
one
it
as
in a
well.
grand
It was
final?
Forsaken did it today on Badlands, where, to be honest, it's so...
It's so easy to do
Yeah.
it, though, especially on Sunshine, where the spawns have changed position since RC7 and RC8.
Yeah.
So that now you go in through one door and then through another to the spawn.
Yeah.
So if you change a class in the first one where the spawn used to be, you just die.
Yeah.
If, you know, if you've got that option set.
I mean, it's a
Just don't set
mistake
that
that... Yeah, it's a mistake that
Just
everyone
don't set
makes.
the option.
Yeah, I know. It really does just solve the problem, doesn't it? But,
Shut up, man. It's harder than it is. You have to go into advanced options, and they changed it like 3 years ago, so it looks a different layout. You know, it's hard.
Difficult, very difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's the tiny little things, though, that I don't think that would have saved the last push for them. It was a very well executed last push from nerdRage, but these very small things are making a big difference. And the biggest difference for me was just that Flippy was going sniper and hitting his shots.
Well, and with that in mind now, too, I mean, do you guys think that that could allow nerdRage to win this game if Flippy is on as much as he was, or is it still just going to be a dominant Froyo?
I think this sort of puts in a little bit more doubt for Froyo, and I think they'll feel that definitely themselves, especially as well after finding out how, you know, good nerdRage are at their opportunities to off-class. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a heavy from Zebosai on this map. And when I was having a chat with them, because I was sort of, I think Nox as well were questioning like why they wouldn't ban Viaduct after this, the performance against Reason, and he feels confident. He feels confidence that they can break that forward hold. And if I can, I want to sort of bring this up. Hopefully, this work. Oh.
Beautiful.
Look at that. I've already pre-prepared this.
Yep.
I mean, this is just a keen analyzer. But as you can see, this is a 4G forward hold. You have your medic and 2 soldiers on the right side. And from that position, you can see both of the doors. And you can just span through main and right side. And we saw Reason trying to break this by running a pyro. Remember, Hafikal would sort of jump out, trying to reflect and try and catch him off guard. Didn't work so well, but from what I understand, nerdRage are sort of planning to do something similar.
It is nerdRage's strategy. It's something that Stark pioneered, going pyro, just switching off and then pushing out, because you are faced with 2 soldiers normally running gunboats on the map. They have no shotgun to deny you. The scouts are miles away. There's no sticky traps. You know, if they have this forward setup, and part of the reason why it works so well is it's very set. You can go into it straight away. You can just instantly move to this forward hold. Everyone knows their job. Everyone knows what to do. But it also makes it quite readable. And so when they see any spam coming in from close, nerdRage will know that they're doing this forward hold. They'll know which doors are open. The middle door is a lot weaker. I mean, it's only really got 1 scout on it in case you try and jump out, or Blaze can try and shoot some rockets into the middle. But I think we'll see that pyro run by Stark, and I think he'll run it slightly better than Hafikal. My problem with Hafikal running the pyro on this and trying to break it was that he was sat in the choke point trying to reflect rockets, whereas the real way to break this forward hold is literally just to hold down W and M2, and you're just walking into them, either reflecting rockets or reflecting the team away. It doesn't matter if you die, because the rest of your team is right behind you, and they're not getting hit by any spam, because you're either tanking it or reflecting it, and you're pushing people back.
You're taking a lot of the focus as well.
Yeah.
And it is always, whenever you're against a pyro, like for example Badlands last, you know, you always have that one soldier that launches a rocket and he reflects it and it kills like all your team.
It's normally Sideshow.
Yeah, it's normally. Another thing with, well, I think it was Alpha that was sort of explaining to us how like the NA scene will normally break it, which is all you need to do is just bait one scout to just sort of take the stickies from the demo man on the left-hand side and just send everybody forward. The scout dies, you send a solid to jump through, just go into the demo, take out a scout pretty much instantly, and then you've got like a massive amount of room to just get onto the point, and then you'll be flanking the heavies on the left, the right side.
And that's exactly what you guys did against Ascent when you ran that, and that worked out really well for you. You absolutely crushed them on Viaduct just by countering it in that way. So yeah, that's another way to run it. If he's running the loose cannon as well, there is a potential to kind of get stuck in that situation though. If he's got the stickies down and he's spamming into the door, it can be a little bit disastrous. You are running into a sticky trap, and it's a guaranteed death for one person.
Yeah,
so.
it is going to be really difficult, I think, for nerdRage though. I mean, at the end of the day though, they're feeling confident. You know, they feel that they can do it, and you know, we'll see. I mean, the problem is as well with this pick is that 4G beat nerdRage on this map, and it was 3-1 as well. So they know that they can do it, and so it does sort of still make me just wonder why the pick. I mean, afterwards you never know. They'll probably tell if they win, then hooray.
Yeah. But I think it does. Ultimately, it just comes down to how well Flippy's playing. I think for nerdRage, they rely on having Flippy hitting his shots, creating openings for them, and when he's on fire, there's nobody that could stand up to that team on Viaduct. Because he's a ridiculous sniper. They have ridiculous scout pair with Stark and Zebasai. I think there's a point at which nerdRage can surpass froyotech on Viaduct, but it's a point at which Flippy is just playing insane. And he's played very well the previous map. I don't know whether he's quite hit the right amount of insanity to defeat froyotech. They are so good.
Well, they are, and that's just something that, you know, I guess we'll have to see coming up. But we are, excuse me, going to go ahead and just take a super quick break and get ready for map 2 here. It is Viaduct in this best of 5 in the i55 Grand Finals. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to i55, the TF2 World Championships. We are in the grand finals here. Map 2 is just about to go underway between nerdRage and froyotech. So we are about to get things kicked off here, guys. What are we thinking?
I'm thinking it's going to be a very tough game for nerdRage. They've lost the last 2 times they've faced this team on Viaduct. froyotech, despite losing a best of 3 here and losing a map against Reason as well, they haven't lost a game on Viaduct. I think it's going to be a miracle if nerdRage take it off them. It's going to require some literally miraculous plays from Flippy.
It's really, really difficult. I mean, this is going to be really, really close, I feel. But I feel Froyo are going to take it 3-1.
All right, well, we'll have to see if that holds true. We are into it. nerdRage took the first map in a golden cap overtime. Now froyotech attempting to get themselves right back into this one. Tie it up at a map apiece. So we are live into it so far. No frags yet on this mid. And actually, Flippy quite hurt. A lot of players from nerdRage very hurt here. He's actually going to go down. Tech, Rib, and Bull all extremely hurt here. Bull and Rib going down here. froyotech should be able to pick up on this first cap here.
A very strong middle from froyotech. Flippy running that scout as well. He did play very well last time he played scout, but it just wasn't enough to beat froyotech. They had some very, very close rounds, but wasn't quite good enough. And look at the Ubercharge here from Shade as well, completely ready to roll. And the players from nerdRage have an opportunity to sack in here, try and get onto Shade. Oh, and Zebasai alone manages it. He has Shade's number. He's got that's fantastic rockets there. Great jump, instant direct, nothing Shade could do, had to pop.
Really is. And he is back on Soldier here. Zebasai just doing work as he normally does, and Flippy is up on Sniper this time, so we'll see if this works out as well as it did on Sunshine for nerdRage. He was hitting shots left and right. He will be trying to do the same thing right here. Stark was all the way in. He went down, but he was able to get Banny in the process, made him crater. So nerdRage attempting to push this point here. They have a full Uber as well to try and move in with, but Bull gets dropped by Blaze. That is massive plays there. Rib and Zebasai both pick up a frag, but Blaze just doing excellent things for them. That will slow up this nerdRage push. I don't know if they can come in and take the point from this. Shade has an Uber to work with.
Yeah, they're going to be attempting to get onto Shade once again and force that Uber charge out of him. They're going to be playing the point here, but I don't think froyotech are going to let it go to them. They do actually, just in that cap, just getting that cap right at the end. Rib's getting pressured pretty far back here. They're looking for the frag on the Shade once again. Zebosai bombing in. He manages to force Shade. He's got it. He is just 100% record for forcing the Ubers at the moment. If they manage to keep that up, they will be looking very good.
They will indeed. Flippy back up on Sniper. They are trying to go over on the cliffside, and as War was saying earlier, this is that classic forward hold from froyotech.
And here comes Stark on the Pyro.
Yeah, we've seen this before. He tried to come out. Banny quickly shut that down. So,
but the rest of his team were behind him. nerdRage are not trying to push out behind their Pyro. Instead, they were just all messing about in spawn at the same time as Stark went out there and died. Zebasai goes down at the same time as Stark has respawned there. Clockwork surfs himself onto a health kit, so he's going to be positioned behind the enemy team there. Flippy takes the fight against him and beats Clockwork in that 1v1. But Bool and Rib are so weak, and Shade has another Uber. Look at all the time they've ticked off the point. This first round is looking really good for froyotech.
nerdRage really hasn't been able to get much of anything on this point. Uber gets popped off by froyotech. They're sending forward. Zebasai and Rib both out of this fight. Banny did get axed on that one, but Ash will also go down. It is 4v4 at the moment, one of which is a respawn from nerdRage, though. They are gaining a bit of ground onto the point, but Blaze is he's going to have something to say about this as he's playing over on the concrete side. froyotech is just about to win this first round here. Tech goes down thanks to Clockwork cleaning up on Blaze's damage, and there's just only 4 guys up from nerdRage at the moment. They have a bit of time on the point, but they don't have the numbers to go in and contest it. Stark will try, but I imagine he will be quite unsuccessful here. First round will be going over to froyotech.
And that was really dominant there. froyotech did not look like they were out of control at any point, apart from those 2 great bombs to force the Uber from Zebasai. They really weren't able to do anything. Flippy didn't even get enough time to really engage with them. So we see Rib as well using the loose cannon. So good on a map like Viaduct. The terrain is just perfectly set up for it. Banny and Blaze combining together to take down Tech on the flank. Rib already dead as well. Stark on those scouts, but Stark munches a pipe, and Flippy isn't in a position to get a shot onto anybody.
Banny just crushed Flippy. Froyo with yet another first mid-fight here, and they will get that time down on the point. This time Bull survived, so they should be able to come back in relatively soon, contest this with the Uber. Both teams will have it. Flippy's still up. Actually, no, he switched back to Scout. Stark is on Pyro as well here, which is quite interesting. Just switch back, actually, but nerdRage getting ready to push in here. Flippy's getting a bit of time onto it. Tech is ready to jump over. Got denied a little bit there. He's actually taking quite a bit of damage here. Could stand to take some heals here, and Clockwork's going to be in. He helps team up to take down Tech with Duat. Now, they did exchange on that one, but the Uber is forced out of both teams here, but not really finding much of anything with either of them so far.
Zebasai dropping down there did so much damage to Shade, knocked him down to just single digits of health, and then he managed to pick up that medium health kit, restore a lot of his health back up. Blaze is going to bomb in onto Rib. Rib may be caught here. Does go down. The demo man for nerdRage. Zebasai down as well. froyotech still looking in control, even as the timer ticks down here for nerdRage, and they take re-control of the point. Oh, and Bull surely going to go down there, Banning with another great bomb. Banning and Blaze down 4v4. Time for nerdRage to go aggressive. Nice rockets from Zebasai to take down Shade, and the spawner's going to come in, but Ash doing such a good job there, putting so much damage into Rib and Tech. Oh, great play by Ash.
Takes down Tech as well. Stark is hit, and so is Flippy. They're going to try and take these guys on one by one. Stark and Flippy both win one of the fights. They might be able to get Ash as well. Flippy finishes that one off. It's a 2K for him. Zebasai is going to come in and help his teammate out in dealing with Banny, but Froyo has their heels right back up onto this point, and Bull is up to the point as well with the team. Froyo still down 2 players at the moment, so they'll wait for them to get the respawns for the push.
Yeah, they will indeed. They'll wait until they have all 6 players ready, and then they'll push in. There's still a minute in the lead here. About 50 seconds. The timer, of course, always ticking down. Currently ticking down nerdRage's clock. And Banny's in with a large bomb, setting things up for his team. Zebasai's distracted some of them. Tawanda takes a lot of damage, but Blade has traded for Flippy as well. froyotech have a lot of weak players, but they just need nerdRage to all go in at the same time. Again, one of them getting isolated first, Zebasai, then Stark. They're not pushing together. Now the Uber been popped out, but Shade on 95%, now 100. They cannot catch him. They had a tiny Uber advantage, but they just weren't in a position to use it. They needed to push forwards a little earlier and a little bit more together. Oh, Blaze is going to do so much damage in that corner. Everyone from nerdRage getting stuck there. And Froyo going to push them all the way back to spawn. Bull needing some rockets inside the spawn even.
Man, they just shoved them back into spawn, and we will see another pause here. It looks like Shade's got a full Uber sitting just outside of main, and they're, I would imagine, about to get set up with their classic forward hold here. But for the time being, we will sit at a bit of a pause. So we have a little time to think about it, but Froyo clearly in the lead here as far as time goes. They've just been so dominant so far on this map, and it still begs the question in my mind, why didn't nerdRage ban this map? Because Froyo still looks fantastic on it.
They absolutely do. I think what it comes down to is they have one elimination. Do they use it on Gully Wash, a map that they're not too good on, or do they use it on Viaduct, a map where froyotech are very, very good? I think if they are playing their absolute A game, they might be able to take Viaduct, but Gully Wash, they're just not confident on it, and they want to play to their strengths. Nice reflect from Stark there on the left-hand side, and another one!
Goodness. Stark doing work. Blaze is going to bomb right back in, though. Might be able to find something beautiful. Reflect from Stark, and he gets the jacket kill. What a play from Stark. And the Uber was actually forced out of Froyo in the process here. They're all the way back onto the point. Bull's he's got a full Uber to come right in with here. They are down Zebasai. Flippy's going to go down as well to Clockwork, and oh no, Clockwork is wrapping right behind them. They do have to pop off this Uber over on the concrete side. They have Clockwork and Blaze both behind them, who combined to get a couple of frags. They're just dropping players like flies here. nerdRage is. Clockwork walking all over them here. Blaze eventually gets put to rest, but right now nerdRage needs to get back up onto this point.
They do indeed. The time is really ticking. They need that overtime. Zebasai picks off Shade. No heals on the bot for anybody, and he gets quite a long spawn here. But they need that overtime. They need the time on the point, and there's only Rivenbull left alive. That is going to be all she wrote for the second round. And nerdRage down 2-0 here. Froyo are so good at Viaduct.
They are, man. They are. At this point, I don't think there's any way nerdRage can come back and do this.
They're not trying Flippy on Sniper. We saw this last time. They tried it for a little bit at the beginning, and then even when they're losing, they're not changing things up. Oh, Rib gets a pipe on Shade, then a pipe on Tawanda. And it's a 3v3 here at the end with froyotech against nerdRage. Clockwork versus Flippy on the point. And Stark's coming in to help. Flippy does die there, but this 1v1 so tense. Zebasai comes in to help, but Clockwork's already killed Stark. Oh, it does actually die at the end there. I thought for a moment he was immortal. Clockwork doing so well, taking that 1v2 against both of the nerdRage scouts.
Oh my. Zebasai almost hitting a pretty gnarly air shot there. Just missed it though. nerdRage did lose that first point. Zebasai is going to come in for a huge bomb onto Shade. Was actually able to take him out with just one big rocket right there, so they don't have any heals, and there is going to be a few more frags ringing through here for nerdRage. Froyo only 2 guys up, one of which is Clockwork. They need to be careful. He can wreak a lot of havoc. Banny comes in to try and pinch with Clockwork, and they do a bit of damage. Bull barely staying alive with just 15 health, and nerdRage now get control of the point.
Let's have a listen to those froyotech team comms and see how they're going to approach this. Are they still supremely confident? They are up 2-0.
I'm on right. I'm in.
Shooting out, I'm shooting out.
I'm in.
Edging point.
I'm behind.
Okay, get out. Getting out, right?
They're chasing out.
Scout main. He's hit 90.
Demo's weak, Cliff.
Scout's
I'm
one
dead,
health
dead.
in our main.
Demo's 68.
Med's hurt. Any damage? Med's so hurt. I can't get to him, man. He's so far away.
Such a play from Flippy there as well. He's starting to hit things. They have moved him over to sniper. It's working out for them at the moment. They have got less time on the point here than less time on the clock, sorry, than froyotech. So at the moment things looking good, but they still need everybody on their team to keep up that form. And froyotech only need one more round.
Just one more. Zebasai going in for a big bomb. Got a lot of damage off onto Dewatna. Ended up going down. Stark gets Blaze trading out on a player there, and that Uber is going to be up soon. Banny going for some big bombs as well. Got a lot of damage off onto Tech, trying to open things up a bit, but wasn't quite able to find it. And Banny is so hurt at the moment. Finally, Tech finishes him off, but they give up the point here. They have an Uber to re-push with, and they want to take this in right now. Shade doesn't quite have it yet. Dewatna gets turned into mincemeat by Tech, and they are sitting right by the point here. Haven't used that Uber yet, but instead Froyo decides to come into them with it. The counter pop comes out of nerdRage, and Zebasai is actually all the way back on the Froyo cliffside here. It seems as though nerdRage has a much stronger presence on the point than Froyo. Zebasai is going to come in. He will be able to catch out Shade as well. Banny goes down to Stark, and that will be nerdRage getting the point. Bull stays alive. They'll gather up some advantage here.
Only 3 players up at the moment from froyotech. Those spawns are going to come in a few seconds, but Bull is going to have a 35% Uber advantage. froyotech are going to just push off the Ubers before Bull gets his and before nerdRage have more of an advantage than they would do otherwise. Flippy transition back over to Scout. nerdRage just need to hold on for another 15 seconds. They'll have that Uber charge up, and as froyotech storm on the point, they're doing a lot of damage to them actually. Just chip showing them away. Zebasai in once again onto Shade, and Dewatna got them down. Both so weak. Tech finishes off one. Oh, finishes off Ash as well.
Oh my.
And Dewatna falls a full white there for just a second. And nerdRage taking down the top. No, they're not actually. They haven't kept the point, but as soon as they do, they are 40 seconds in the lead. And with a full Uber advantage, I'd expect to see either a sack play here or froyotech to push in and focus down the fracking classes and force the Uber out of Bull.
He does have that Uber right now. And Flippy not on Sniper, he's on Scout at the moment as they're getting ready to open this. Zebasai just going in for some massive bombs, trying to get Shade. Really good rocket into him, couldn't get a second. Banny protected his medic well, and nerdRage still staying strong on this point. Shade is now at 50%. Froyo attempting to push back in here. They did force that Uber out of Bull, and Flippy was able to find Blaze, and Dewatna's going to get caught in from Flippy as well, who's on a 3-kill streak. So,
but I don't understand that Uber charge, because if you just get a few fracking classes, it really doesn't help in any way, because Shade has his Uber, and you're only taking literally the respawn timer off the clock. froyotech have such quick spawns because they don't have control of that point. Maybe they're putting their trust in Shade going down, and a combination of Zebasai and Stark is going to make it happen here. froyotech moving forwards, but have no heals. But they are just rampaging forwards. Tech with a nice shot there. And Rib with a pipe. They're going to keep Bull alive. There's only Ash and Dewatna here. All they have to do is recap. And they have a minute 30 to do it. And an Uber charge. How could this possibly go wrong?
Zebasai already getting that pick onto Dewatna. They're just shutting them out. They need to get this cap. That Froyo is going to try and come onto the point, but it will not go. nerdRage getting themselves on the board here on this second map, now making it a 2-1 game.
And you can see the reason gaming players are some of them sitting behind nerdRage, cheering them on as they're playing those guys. They're gutted to be knocked out of the tournament and not playing in this grand final, but froyotech definitely deserved this spot. And they are still up 2-1. There's a lot of work left to be done. Tech and Blaze meet in midair. And it's actually Zeba that finds the first frag, but Blaze is really weak as well. Tech misses that headshot, but finds the frag on Banny anyway. That's the pocket and the pocket scout down. And Zebasai and Stark are in behind, trying to get Dewatna and Blaze combined together there to take down Zebasai Stark did manage to get out. They're going to be able to cap this, and the Ubers are equal.
They are indeed. Zebasai has his respawn in 5 seconds. Froyo looking to maybe come back on at this point. Duatna was able to catch Flippy with some stickies though, so and they will be down a player for this fight that Froyo is bringing straight onto the point here. Blaze trying to bomb in, absolutely denied by Tech. And now the Uber is popped off. Shade hasn't quite had to use his yet, and they will send Ash straight on forward with the Banny, and they'll eat up Bull. Duatna goes down thanks to Rib. Clockwork got him, and Blaze gets Zebasai as well. They're just demolishing all of these nerdRage players. Flippy is up on Sniper though.
They managed to take 30 seconds off the time there, nerdRage. They only held on to it for 30 seconds, but that's not too bad. They can do that a few more times as long as they get control of the point back. froyotech not shifting into this forward hold here, and let's have a listen to the nerdRage comms and see how they are planning to attack.
So much damage on that guy.
So that weak.
Nice.
Come on right side, come on right side. They should have Uber soon, they should have Uber soon.
Do a stack. It's good to come up. I need a move, are you good?
Right side, right.
Let's shoot. I'll switch to main.
I'm shooting forward, I'm covered. Just suicide.
Over me,
I'm suiciding now.
I'm siding you.
Any go suicide? 8660.
Come to me.
Oh, there it is. Froyo is just getting demolished here. Clockwork and Blaze are the only ones left up alive right now. Both of them ailing miserably. Blaze especially down to just 30 health. Clockwork's going to try and get himself out of here as well, but nerdRage has a full Uber to defend this point with.
They do indeed, and they're running Stark and Flippy on that high ground in order to defend against any bombs that they're going to send in here. I'd imagine there's going to be a sack play coming in from Froyo. It will look like they're trying to take as much room as possible before that happens. Bull dodging around, but does use his Uber. They're going to get these frags, but I feel like Bull really could have held on to that for a little longer. The thing was, he saw two heavies at least flying into his face, and if they shoot projectiles at the same time, he has no chance to react. So playing it safe there, but in the end, I don't think he would have been damaged either way. Maybe he should have put a little more trust in himself and his team, but so they avoid a drop or some other similar terrible casualty, and now they've transitioned to a forward hold of their own. Zebasai playing in that middle area though instead of on the left. That's really the only difference to the froyotech forward hold.
Froyo is going to have to pop their Uber out to break this forward hold. They set forward. Bull is up in the air, is going to get eaten alive by Banny, and that will be Froyo just pressing. They have the heals to come right back onto this point. Zebasai in for a bomb, will trade up with Ash, but Banny is also still in here. Very hurt. Rib actually got taken out, was cleaned up by Clockwork after he got a good rocket into him, so that is only just two guys up on the side of nerdRage. Froyo will regain control at this point.
They will indeed, and Bull does not have anything on the medigun. His Uber charge still 40 seconds away from being built up, so that's a long time. They could push non-Uber here. They could attempt to get onto Shade in the about 8 seconds before he has it. Would be a ballsy play to attempt to go for something like that. Instead of, we'll just see a sack again from Zebasai. Zebasai in onto that cliff area, behind the Shade. First rocket juggles him straight up in the air, but he does a pirouette and avoids that next rocket. Zebasai doesn't find his man this time.
A lot of players on Froyo hurt, but still nerdRage down to Rib. Falls to Clockwork as well, so they're down 3. Just now getting that respawn of Zebasai, and looks like Froyo is going to go into their forward hold here to try and hold nerdRage back just a bit longer. They do need to regain on some time here. Shade blasted up, and he will be forced. Actually, thanks to Zebasai there, he gets yet another force for nerdRage, and that is them with a full Uber to push right back out on this left side. They're getting geared up to go right now.
Yeah, here they come. Oh, Stark leading the Uber charge, but does get dropped by Bull out of the Uber range. Ted gets headshot as well, and this looks like a disastrous Uber here for nerdRage. Rib putting down as many stickies as he can, hits a pipe on the Shade as well. Shade goes down so weak there due to the spam, down to 7 health. And nerdRage have essentially pressured froyotech off the point, but Shade still has a fairly big Uber advantage.
They should be able to get this point here. nerdRage, at least, they are going to stack onto it. They have it, as you said. Shade has about 20%-ish on nerdRage at the moment. Froyo now getting ready to re-push this one. Just about 10 seconds difference between the two teams, but the time just keeps ticking down for nerdRage. They've lost two now. Flippy and Zebasai both out of the fight here, but they did force that Uber of Shade, but nerdRage really needs to get this one here. They're very close to coming up onto their Uber. I think Froyo is going to grab this point, but nerdRage definitely looking to re-push this shortly once their players respawn with that full Uber.
Yeah, they managed to force that Uber out, and that is a great situation for them. But as we've said before, froyotech are so good at these ending fights, playing the respawns as soon as nerdRage get onto the point there, and they're just going to bait them onto the point and try and force the Uber out. Here comes Banny making a play from behind. Oh, Zebasai gets utterly predicted, and here comes the Uber. They really need frags here. Clockwork is going to go down, but that's all they can find, and the collapse from Froyo is coming in, and they're going to have a little bit of overtime. The Star gets Shade as well. There is enough time for the spawners to jump onto the point and attempt a fight. Stark unable to find anybody else, but Zebo and Rib are going to come in. Rib's health really low though, and Zebo gets smacked down into the ground.
This series will get tied at one map apiece here. Tied at one map apiece. froyotech showing their absolute dominance on Viaduct once again here. And just taking it pretty commanding 3-1.
Just completely unbeaten on Viaduct and essentially untouched as well. There was no team, I don't think, that made it to 2-2 with them. There's never been that pivotal final round, because froyotech haven't allowed themselves to be in the position where there's that pivotal final round. They have taken every single one of the games on Viaduct 3-1 or 3-0, and it's certainly something to see. I mean, Flippy, they didn't really run him as much as I thought they might, and when he was playing, had a bit of an impact, but it was mostly on Scout. We are joined as well by Mike from Reason Gaming, who's been playing Roma at this LAN for that team. So froyotech, of course, knocked them out in the lower bracket final. They went home with third place, unable to play in the grand final. But I'll pass it over to you to start off then, Mike. What do you think makes froyotech so good on Viaduct?
They don't need to run a sniper like other teams. Their typical 2 scouts, 2 soldiers is so good. Like, the soldiers just do so much work in China and on like lower right. Like, when they Uber in, they can like annihilate your flank. But when you Uber into them, they just split up so well and get behind you. But like, it's so hard to get behind them.
Is it then the perfection of these cookie-cutter classes on Viaduct that has made them such a phenomenal team on that map? They've just been honing their tactics over the entire time that they have been a team and never tried anything different. They've just tried to perfect this single strat and the forward hold as well.
Yeah, because European teams just run sniper on Viaduct mostly, and even though it turns out it's not the best, we thought it was the best in Europe. So all teams in Europe are used to playing with a sniper, but froyotech are just like way better with like the 2 scouts, 2 soldiers. Like nerdRage started playing way better after the first 2 rounds when they just stopped running snipers much, because on maps like Sunshine, where Flippy was doing loads of work, you're not pressured by the time to make picks. But on Viaduct, you need to make picks as sniper, and if you miss just a few shots, that's it. You're lost around, and then you're losing time again. So. I think that's why he couldn't do much as sniper on Viaduct, and then they started winning. The only round they got was when they ran like Flippy Scout the whole round.
Do you think then, like Mike, the sniper is a thing that is it's a fundamentally weaker strategy that relies on one player just being godlike?
It's more like a hero play class on Viaduct. I think it should only be used like you go in, you try to get one shot, and if you miss that one shot, then you should just switch back to Scout. Like, you shouldn't just try to keep running it over and over, because you just lose so much time that way.
And what was the problem there with what nerdRage were doing against froyotech? Why aren't they able to, why is nobody able to pull out a victory? But specifically, what was happening in that map?
I think a large portion of it is their coordination. Anytime nerdRage had one player singled out in front of the point, in front of anyone, Froyo would just take that person out pretty much instantly. And it really does show how much coordination they've got on this map, as well as how, together they are. Like, they are ridiculously coordinated, and, they are pretty much on point with each other. As soon as one person's too far forward, that person's out. I think it was Rib a few times when he wasn't even that far out from everyone, but he sort of made himself like a target, and then everybody just took that and just seized that moment and just destroyed him. They gave them like literally no room to breathe. The forward hold from Froyo, they credit to nerdRage, he actually did a decent job on sort of breaking it, but I think it was just one time that really stood out when they made use of the pyro on using that class to really hold it out. But throughout the rest of the game, it was really just I would say a clockwork and bluee show personally. Dashner was really, really good though on, really stifling any aggression. He did really well. I want to sort of try and bring up of our logs, and once again, we're going to have clockwork top fragging with a beastly 31 and 15 assists as well.
Has he ever not top fragged on a Viaduct game? I don't think it's possible. Maybe if he was playing without his monitor turned on or something, but I have a feeling he would still top frag. He's insane on that map.
Yeah, and again, this is sort of predicted from Froyo. I mean, I was talking to Zebasai and I said, you should have really banned this out because your gully wash is stronger. And I mean, yeah, it's Froyo's strongest map as well, but I mean, Reason took them to a golden cap on that map, whereas, they played them already on Viaduct and they've lost by the same scoreline, and it's just happened again. And as Mike was saying, I mean, 2 minutes they've really shown that running a sniper on this map isn't always the best thing to do, because they've been able to play against it really, really well. I mean, sorting by damage, top 4 players.
Well, there we go. There's a rare occasion when Banny hasn't topped the damage numbers on.
So bad.
On yeah, absolutely. But no, the one. Hello.
That made me.
Not sure what that was. I think it was.
Are we okay?
A foghorn in the house. Dashner putting out so much damage makes it a lot easier for Clockwork to get those frags along with the soldiers and scouts, and they're really benefited by the coordination they have as a team as well.
It was really, really good for me. I think they played that map pretty much perfectly. There's nothing against it. I don't think that they'll be able to be stopped. Maybe in the future if they're sticking together, because it's just when you're playing against them on that map, you literally have to just sit there and think on the side, like, how the hell are we going to stop them? Like, I mean, granted, to credit to Zebo, he did really well on Force and Shade, but it was the fights afterwards, when the Uber fights broke out and they all ran out. They kept their composure so much, and they just went back to what they normally do. Blaze trying to break it on the flank, Clockwork going out with him as well, and just picking players off. They never sort of lost focus throughout the entire time. And as Mike was saying, when they were running Sniper, time is really, really critical. And I think they really, really understood that, every single second counts on this map, and they won from it. Even from medic point of views, they were... I mean, Shade actually had more deaths, interestingly, than Bull on this map, which is probably a first. But, yeah, Shade still played incredibly well, even with Zebasai completely riding on top of him all the time.
I think that's an interesting stat there that just showed up, which was medic deaths within 20 seconds of the Uber. I think, even though Bull had less deaths overall, a fairly decent proportion of his deaths are right after those Uber charges. So the Ubers are traded, and then in the scrappy fight that goes on afterwards, Bull's dying either along with the rest of his team or getting caught out away from the rest of his team. So it's an interesting one. But Mike, what did you think about the map Elimination? Do you agree with War that it was an odd choice to ban Gully Wash and allow Viaduct there?
Yeah, definitely, I agree. Even though I hear I heard rumors like nerdRage don't like Gully Wash, but I was speaking to them earlier, and like the Frenchies at least like Gully Wash, like Tech and Flippy, and like at times they can be their best players, so I don't get why they banned it. But I think it's just Zebasai is probably one of the more louder voices on their team and one of the more passionate, and he's probably like the pseudo leader of nerdRage. Like, they don't have one main caller, but if anyone's the leader, it's probably Zebasai or Stark. But if Zebasai says he doesn't want to play Gully Wash, I guess they don't have to. But definitely, like, Process and Viaduct are froyotech's best maps, and even if they don't like Gully Wash, they're still a really good Gully Wash team, and they could definitely beat froyotech on Gully Wash. So I don't get it, like, why they people keep trying to play Viaduct versus Froyo.
Yeah, I mean, you would think, given the previous encounters with other teams against froyotech, that they'd learn it can't be done.
Yeah, it blows my mind. I just don't get it. I mean, to me, it seems like plain and simple, ban Viaduct. Like, you're probably not going to win. But
the other thing is, as you were alluding to, their Process is one of their best maps. But nerdRage did beat them on Process in that upper bracket final that they played against them. It was insanely tight and required some insane plays coming out from Zebasai and the rest of the nerdRage squad, but they did manage to do it. So do you think that it's best to play to your own strengths in terms of these kind of things, or do you try and exploit other teams' weaknesses?
Go on.
Oh, you.
No, you.
No, you.
No, I don't know what I was going to say, so.
Oh, all right, then. I don't know, it's really, really difficult. I think it's like partly mind games. If you're expecting your opposition to ban one of your best maps and they don't, then you start sort of second guessing yourself, like, you know, why is it that they've allowed Viaduct? Do they have some sort of game plan behind it or something like that? But to be honest, I don't know why Zeba was so adamant on allowing them to play Viaduct. I mean, I did say to him that if he lost, I'd go over to him and laugh in his face, but...
But you're stuck here. You're stuck here with the heads up.
Well, it's
so
also because his physical presence is a lot significant than mine. So, you know, naturally...
He'd snap you like a twig.
Yeah,
is what you're trying to say.
It's not even like a twig, mate. To be honest, he'd blow me away like sand. Like, I would just disintegrate in front of them. He's quite an intimidating chap. But he's... yeah, to be honest, it's obviously not worked out for him, and they should, at the end of the day, personally, just ban out whatever makes Froyo stronger. I mean, you're in a grand final for a lot of dollar. Like, there's no reason why you would just pretty much, well, from what I feel, and based on the game versus reason, which is evidence of what you should do, you would give them a free win.
Going on to Snakewater, what's, you know, who has the upper hand here? Who does this favor?
It's really...
Do you think it's difficult? I think it's a fairly
I think nerdRage has the upper hand.
I think nerdRage has the upper hand.
From when their game yesterday, after they beat them on Process, like, froyotech were on tilt on this map, but like, nerdRage still played really well on this map, and it's got like huge, like, potential for sniper plays in the same style that Flippy was doing on Sunshine. So given the fact that they beat them yesterday and how, like, the stuff that happened to Froyo on this map yesterday was not pretty. So I think they won't have forgotten that already, and I think, nerdRage have the advantage.
I mean, yeah, they lost 5-2, so it's not even a slim scoreline. It's like a convincing win.
Yeah, it really was. It was a convincing win,
and it's,
final map.
You know, something which Froyo just, you know, there's something alien to them. You know, being beaten on a map by a significant margin. And I think this will sort of definitely benefit nerdRage. I mean, it's a good map for sniping as well, especially pushing second. I mean, Flippy's going to be sitting on balcony just doming bitches left, right, and center. I mean, on last as well, defending is really good for sniping. Attacking is really good for sniping. So overall, I think it favors them, and they've got this.
Well, we are headed into it here. CP Snakewater, our third map of the series. We're tied up at 1-1. nerdRage had won the first map. froyotech just won Viaduct. And now we head on to our third map of this best of 5, which is Snakewater.
Yes, indeed. We're on to our first mid. Arrived from that bottom entrance. The one that's playing around the soul room, both trying to exchange some stickies. Neither of them done any damage to each other quite yet. Start playing on the top left, and they're going to attempt to bait in these soldier bombs. Banny has been denied, but Blaze has gone in, and now another reach up from Banny. They immediately take down Bull, and Rib falls as well. Clockwork only on 12 health, and Blaze weak as well. If these players can get aggressively into the Froyotech, they may be able to pick off 1 or 2. Stark coming around the corner. Meat shots, Clockwork, got Ash down to a few health. Takes that 1v2 against the weak players. And it's a full wipe just from Stark and Tech at the end there. Great flank from Stark with Tech applying that cleanup as well. Great stuff from them. First mid goes to nerdRage.
That is just incredible. They got Shade right before that, and then Stark and Tech just completely took that mid by the balls, really. I mean, it was incredible. Took on probably like 4 guys, probably 2v4 or something like that. It was unreal. And now that allows Bull to come in. They're going to have about 25% advantage or so in that range, and they might be able to gain some entrance into second here. Zebasai was knocked up very high, and he's actually going to go down. So nerdRage down a player. They get an exchange frag onto Blaze, but Froyo still aggressing heavily into this flank side as nerdRage is backing themselves up. right back into this mid here. They have a full Uber as well, but they decide not to take the fight.
Yeah, they're not going to go for that with that Uber advantage that they had. I don't think they realized it was an Uber advantage. It was just because Shade wasn't building the Uber quite as well as the nerdRage medic. But as they move in through this sawmill, it looks like they're poking and prodding, trying to get an entrance on this left-hand side, and Clockwork has lost. Was that a 1v1 against Stark?
1v1. Stark hit some insane meat shot to take him out there, and that is now going to be Uber's exchange right over outside of the saw room. Flippy goes down right in the middle of the fight, though, and Tech may just be trapped in here. I think he will go down. Rip got Ash, and Tech was able to get Blaze. He actually exchanged with Blaze, but it's only 3 guys up on nerdRage. They're all the way back on their side of the mid.
Yep, and they're going to attempt to come in now. Banny and Duan are pushing across the point. Stark's going to apply as much pressure as he possibly can. As Everside take a small jump forwards. nerdRage not prepared to give this one up without a fight. And they've got Flippy coming in behind. Even if people do drop, Flippy's going to attempt to get the headshots. Yes. Finds a frag onto the pocket of Banny from froyotech. Clockwork caught out as well. Is going to fall. And now froyotech are going to be fleeing. Nice shot from Duan to be able to take him. Oh, but Scream down so weak as well. Ash finishing off that frag. But it is still 5v4, even if they are missing their demo man. They have a sniper on the field to go for any key targets.
They are starting to move through that flank side. Froyo's aggressing back in just a little bit. Blaze is actually getting really aggressive onto Flippy. He's able to finish him off. And froyotech has their respawns. Everside is going to go down to Ash as well. So now it's nerdRage on the back foot just a bit. And they're going to have to go back once again to their side of the mid. Both teams have an Uber to fight this with. They may try and spam Shade if they can. Bomb comes through from Blaze, though. He just gets eaten alive by Rip. Bull is very, very hurt, though. Needs to pop that off, and indeed he will. Both teams use their Uber here, and Froyo is down 2 players. Rip just died, though, to Banny, and nerdRage not in the best of positions here. Bull, who's very hurt, is trying to escape through this flank side. Ash will take care of him with the pistol, though, and they got to come back and try and get Shade, and indeed they do. Stark finds that frag, and that's all that they needed there. They lost the fight, but at least got Shade. And froyotech now will be able to move in towards the second point.
Yeah, froyotech are going to take second point here with ease. But Shade is still 2 seconds away from spawning. nerdRage might attempt to push out as they know that Shade got spawned quite far away there. nerdRage going to have better heals just for a small amount of time. They might just prod into lobby. Duan is intending to slow them down by laying sticks everywhere. But as nerdRage peak, they're going to make some room for their sniper as well.
Now they are just sitting around at second at the moment. Is Everside down and lower? Said you do have Flippy on sniper here to try and grab a big Everside. Very hurt here. Ash is going to be able to finish him off. froyotech is moving towards possibly to make a push out of Shutter. And I do hear a heavy up at the moment. That is Stark on that. And both teams not quite at their Ubers, but they are completely even here. So just waiting it out until they get those and maybe see a push out of froyotech.
They're going to be pushing into a sniper sightline and a heavy, though. It's going to be a very difficult push for them. They can't really sack either because Stark's sat right where Bull is. That's going to be an easy deny for him on the heavy weapons guy. Clockwork may just barrel in and see if he can find that one frag. Blaze is going to go in as well. Fully charged body shot onto Clockwork, and Blaze caught out as well by Tech. This is an opportunity to push out, at least get some room. No, they're not running sniper anymore, so they can't make room for Flippy to get another one. They're just going to have to commit to this if they actually want to move with the Uber.
And they are starting to make their way into lobby now. Tech is going to lead the charge on out. Gets a good rocket to Banny. Just missing the second shot, but they're forced to pop the Uber. So much damage came down onto them. And both teams popping them off here. But nerdRage pretty much just taking a solo one here. They don't stay committed into the fight. They'll just back this one out.
It was a better Uber by nerdRage by quite a distance, actually. They had an extra 3, maybe even 4 seconds of Uber charge after Shades had faded. But they didn't commit the rest of their team. I think Stark was still running heavy, and they didn't feel like the rest of their players behind them were in a position to really burst out onto second and take that fight. The players had respawned from froyotech. Instead, they're just going to play it safe, sit on the point, and run Stark on heavy, Flippy, sniper.
So maybe if Flippy can open something up for a push right out of this point, froyotech, as they usually do. I don't see any off-classing, no sniper yet either. Might see a sack to bring that play to life, but for right now, they just want to sit it back on second. And not really seeing much of a lane. Actually, Clockwork now has come up on Sniper, so he will be moving his way towards the point, have a battle with Flippy, and see who will initiate this first push.
You want to peeking into lobby now, having a look at how best to get Clockwork in position. I imagine really if they even take down Flippy, they'll attempt to take the Uber in slowly from the left-hand side. Clockwork going to be peeking the shutter door in just a second. And he spots the Sniper actually, but Clockwork then gets headshot, I think, or maybe even a fully charged body shot there. But goes down very weak, down to 20 health again. And now that they know froyotech are running a Sniper, it's going to be a little more difficult for Clockwork to get that pick. And Flippy knows exactly where he's rotating.
Just keeping an eye on him. Just a chess match right now till one of these guys can land the shot. He did get a headshot on the Clockwork, and the spam from Tech was able to finish him off. Well coordinated by nerdRage. But will they push off of this? You do have Stark who's coming back in here. Zebasai is underneath. He may be looking to make a jump up, and he is going for it. He gets eaten alive by Banny. And that will slow up nerdRage here a bit. Will Froyo decide this time to maybe make the push now that nerdRage is down? Banny definitely looking to make a move here. Ash gets dropped right before the Uber gets popped off, though. In the sticky trap, Bull will now pop off as well. They have a better Uber. nerdRage does, and Banny's still just kind of delaying. And all the way back, he will get taken out by Stark. But this could be some room here for nerdRage to push back out.
Banny trying to delay his death as long as possible so that at least Ash spawns as he goes down, so that it's a 6v5 and not a 6v4. But they're going to find a frag on the bottom. Clockwork, it takes quite a bit of damage as well, but they found a return frag of Flippy. No, what a direct there from Tech to take down Clockwork. And starts getting healed up to re-engage with this fight once more. Tech goes down, but froyotech getting bullied back into that lower house area. The Ubers are equal, but there's still a player down a piece. And I think nerdRage have just managed to secure themselves the second point. No, they're going to try and push it forwards either way. Just having a look in that storeroom area, but they don't want to commit to it. Let's have a listen to the nerdRage comms as they prepare on the second and see what they want to do, how they want to break this.
Hey, but
Nice.
I have got really late Uber. Above you, Flippy. Make some grass.
I might hit on grass. 45.
I'm dead. Gas on point.
Let's take them.
He's 120. Leave.
I had no ammo there. I spawned.
Left side, so
It's just you.
I'm done.
Full left.
They're chasing you. Oh, they
Nice. You got it.
Right side, that's it.
Great play by Bull there at the end to take down Blaze. He does escape despite being harassed by the one and stickies. That means he's going to have... Oh, he still has a 35% Uber disadvantage actually because he was disconnected for quite some time. But it's going to be a better situation than if he died. I think froyotech would have just pushed straight in there off the Ubers. And he's going to be able to be delivering over heals buffs to his team. Also will have the Uber up in 20 seconds, but for now, they're just going to be holding with that sniper heavy defense again. See if Flippy can get an entry pick. Maybe if they drop someone through, they shut the door again. But Banny and Blaze are going to be leading the Uber. They found Bull as well. Bull with a glorious surf away. Oh, and actually going to be able to escape there as Blaze gets caught by the heavy of Stark. Great stuff from him, and Shade has managed to wiggle his way out again on 29 health. Really, really weak. Both of those medics making great escapes from unfavorable situations, but it is Bull who has his Uber charge, and nerdRage are going to want to be pushing forwards as soon as the roamer of Zebasai spawns and is in position.
Was an absolutely unreal surf from Bull. That was so cool to watch. He took that thing all the way around to the other side of spawn. So that's some good stuff from him. Kept himself alive. They now have that Uber, as you said, to push back out on the second. Though Blaze is starting to make his move towards last. He has Clockwork backing him up, but nerdRage is... They do have a keen eye to this, and they move some guys back. The Uber was forced out of nerdRage in the process. Froyo looking to absolutely collapse on these guys right now. 3 players down, Bull being among the victims in all of that chaos, and they may be in a bit of trouble here as Froyo gets ready to push into last. They've already got themselves in here. Stark gets annihilated by Banny. Now it's just Flippy that's trying to defend this point. Zebasai is in. They pop that Uber. Tech was able to find one, but there is no players up on the side of nerdRage. Froyo is going to cap up on this point and take the first round on Snakewater.
Yeah, first round goes to froyotech. It was a fairly long one. 11.5 minutes off the clock. 18.5 remaining. Still tons and tons of time for either team to take this, but froyotech with a step up the ladder already towards winning this grand final. The series so far is tied 1-1. Whoever wins this map will be looking good. They will only need one more. Here comes the bomb from bluee and bluee, both at the exact same time. bluee has managed to find Stark, and bluee's causing chaos behind. Both of the scouts as well, melting people left, right, and center. Bull just realizes that there is no way out of that one. A full wipe there. What a great mid from froyotech.
That was just a dominating mid, and they set themselves up so well. They are already in on last. Stark wants to try and put a sentry up, but that is not going to happen, says froyotech. They are already in here, pressuring them so much, trapping them out of spawn. flippy was a victim of that one that Dashner laid out. They pop the Uber off. Benny gets air shot in the middle of the Uber. Tech ends up going down, though, thanks to Benny's rocket. Only 2 guys up, Stark and Bull. They both fall. That is another round right over to froyotech. They now take a 2-0 lead.
2-0 for froyotech. They're looking good going into this map. The last time these guys played Snakewater against each other was in the upper bracket final. It was the decider map of that best of 3, and nerdRage came out on top 5-2. If they want to replicate that performance, they will have to have a perfect game from here on out. nerdRage need to solve the problem of the mid-fight as well first.
So they are pushing straight across the point. They have pretty solid position. A lot of guys from froyotech hurt, though. The return frags are coming onto nerdRage. At the moment, they're actually starting to back themselves out. Clockwork staying aggressive onto the combo of nerdRage, but they do manage to get themselves out. They dealt enough damage to keep him at bay, but Froyo does win the mid, and nerdRage now backing all the way up into their lobby.
flippy's focus fire on these mids and fights on second seems to be a little disengaged from the rest of his team. Side bombed in there as well, but couldn't find Shade. That's the player they were going for. But yeah, flippy seems to just be focusing a few of the wrong targets. There's some really weak people on froyotech that he could have killed on that mid. Instead of going for both players. For some reason only going to himself. But froyotech are slowly trying to get a lot of room here. They've taken so much damage from Tech, who's going to dive in really far too deep with that overcharge. And Bull forced to back up to the rest of his players. froyotech again going to come forwards. Bull needs so much spam there.
Oh my goodness, nearly fell. They had some great coordinated spam. Froyo, nerdRage down 3 players. Froyo is going to pile on the pressure here straight into last. They only have 3 guys up at the moment. Froyo is healthy with a full 6 to take this last point. Haven't quite capped up on second yet, but they need to work quickly to get out onto it. Froyo is on the point at the moment. They're bombing in here, trying to save it, but nerdRage only has 3 players up. If they can delay long enough for Stark and flippy to get back out here, they may have a chance, but it's just Bull left up on the point. Froyo taking a 3rd straight round here, looking absolutely dominant on this 3rd map.
And at this point, nerdRage may be a little rattled. They thought that this would be a good map for them. Let's have a listen to their team comms on this mid, see how they're solving the problem.
You like to stack left side. Don't you want to do Valley? I mean,
I want to go on top of it. Then Bull is safe.
Tell me where they are, please.
Got top left.
Then on right side. Saw him. They're on the left.
Sorry, that's the left.
Jag tar flera av dem.
Nice, dead.
Ska ta blöd, ska ta blöd.
102, the scout. Dead. Only dead.
Well, the way for them to solve the problem at mid was to run flippy on sniper and Stark and Zebasai on scout. We've seen this tactic a few times coming out of nerdRage, but it worked to perfection there, Gecks.
It did. It was just what the doctor ordered for nerdRage there to fix that mid problem. But can he keep with those consistent shots? That's what we're curious about. Bull did go down, so they are at a uber disadvantage at the moment. They're just getting themselves right back into the mid. froyotech is definitely looking to move forward here very shortly. They're up on an uber. For the time being, nerdRage has the 2nd point, but they're going to have to give it up if they don't want to get crushed on this point.
They're holding forwards with a few of their players, making sure that froyotech have to use the uber if they want to push out. Zebasai's running around on the scout. And the uber forced immediately there from froyotech. But some players from nerdRage still really far forwards. Can they do a vanishing act and not give up any frags? Hector's go down. Flippy's attempted to find a frag on Clockwork. Oh, Clockwork does eventually go down to the SMG actually, but Zebasai's fallen as well. They now have a huge uber advantage, and that sniper, they just need to wait. Oh, the spawn of Tech there got advanced by 7 seconds, just as froyotech capped. I'm looking for him, but they are going to have synced up spawn waves there, Tech and Zebasai now back in the game. They've got 20 seconds to use this Uber advantage. They could push through Saw, but there's a lot of stickies there. I think Stark has spotted them.
Have to start moving here soon. There's sticks right outside, as you said. Need to be careful of it. They've lost a lot of their advantage here. They're just down to 25% left on this one. They're starting to move forward, and there's Flippy finding Penny with a headshot, and they did pop the Uber off. Shade is just about to have it, though. They need to be careful. I think they know it's coming, because bluee here also was able to pick up on a couple of frags before Tech traded out with him, but here comes froyotech. They're still staying strong for the time being on this second point, but they're about to get pinched in by Tech. They will be forced to use this here, I'd have to imagine, as Tech starts to come in. They're getting the spam out, still hasn't quite yet had to use it. Ash is taking them on one by one. I thought for sure they would at least get no force out of Shade, but nerdRage is backing themselves up onto the midpoint now that they're down 2 players. froyotech wants to lay on this pressure, and they pop it straight into the mid. Duatna sends forward. Luckily, nerdRage, for them, they got themselves out. Banny actually goes down to Rip before being taken out by Ash, but they will have to give up this midpoint. But once again, nerdRage has the advantage.
They do. They have that Uber advantage. The last time they didn't use it effectively. They tried to take a solo Uber with Tech forwards. They got forced far too early, and froyotech once again were miles away. They now have it up. Tech's already really far forward, so, and they've only just got it, so this is much better for them, but they need somebody making space so that Bill's able to come in. At the same time, the Uber popped off on Zebasai, who's now on that roaming soldier class. bluee, Clockwork, and Ash are all behind, but Zebasai's going really deep here. Oh, Shade's so weak. 10 health is going to regen, but they picked up tons of frags there onto the froyotech players. So unlucky that Shade didn't die. Zebasai had a really nice rocket.
I just about had it, but couldn't quite secure the frag. nerdRage will, though, secure this midpoint. Since Shade was able to survive, they have snagged themselves up a good bit of Uber advantage here, at least 50%. They're going to work their way in through that stall room. Duatna will also grab Stark as a frag here, and they're getting ready to push out onto that catwalk. bluee is going to get Zebasai. They move in here. They're forced to use that Uber out of window and just pile on into the mid-rib. I think it's going to get caught out here. Flippy's trying to find himself a juicy pick before he dies. Actually, Clockwork coming in out of window, and he takes him down too. Fantastic shot from Flippy. And nerdRage is back on their second point. They have an Uber to push back in with. Both teams down 2 players as well, and Zebasai just got his respawn, so things definitely favorable here for nerdRage, and Tech knows it. He's starting to work his way in through garage here, and they popped off this Uber, but I don't think they're going to be able to find really too much of anything with this. Zebasai was able to get blazed, but Bull is just going to have to walk back onto the point. froyotech now looking to re-push into mid.
They are indeed. They're going forwards here. Tech and Flippy really weak. Flippy is going to go down, so no headshot potential onto froyotech. Rib's been caught as well. Rib in this best of 5 so far has just overextended a few too many times. He's been a little far forwards when the rest of his team are backing out, trying to still apply pressure when everybody else has left him. froyotech able to take this second point very easily, uncontested, and are now going to be on last. They are 3-0 down. There's 9 minutes, 40 seconds remaining. They are going to be hard pressed to come back from this. Here comes that Uber charge, Gecks.
Yeah, they are in on it. Flippy's up on Pyro, trying to deny as much as he can. Zebasai goes down, but they just got that Uber up. nerdRage did, and froyotech wasn't able to hunt down Bull, but here comes bluee in for a bomb, and he gets dropped. Bull dropped by Clockwork. And the coordinated bomb from the soldier. Now Tech has to try and hold off Shade as well as Ash here, and he's quite hurt at the moment. Really needed to hit that one shot onto Ash. He gets pistoled down. He's on the point. That is another round over to froyotech, 4-0.
9 minutes remaining. Still enough time for nerdRage to turn this one around, but it will require something really special.
Let's see what their plan is for this mid, not running the sniper to mid, despite it being so effective last time. They really just want a clean mid here and wipe all the way to last. That would just be ideal if they're able to catch Shade out as well. Zebasai probably going to be the initiator from the top area, but Banning and bluee going aggressive. Ash takes that fight against Stark with the heals, but Zebasai's really weak. He's going to go down. They found the pick on the soldier. Yeah, but Shade going down there is the best case scenario for nerdRage. That mid looking like it might be lost actually, but Banny and bluee the only ones left alive, and Tech is still there. Managed to get the health kit. bluee so weak. And where is Banny positioned? He's in now! Oh, cleans up both of those players. Came in after grabbing the health kit, and Flippy and Tech were almost exactly in the same place. Took the same damage from his rockets there.
Banny's trying to cap up on the mid. He knows nerdRage is just about to be coming into this mid, so he'll back up, try and meet with his team that is just coming in through Saw right now, and they have collected together, so they want to take this midpoint. nerdRage not really there quite yet. Have to be careful not to get trapped in there. Zebasai actually very hurt. Banny's already made his way in through window. He's going to come right in onto the combo. Got Zebasai, but couldn't find anything else. Tech finds 2 frags of his own to get Banny and Clockwork. They want to move back in through this Saw here just a bit. nerdRage, if they can. Tech is already in by himself. He has Bull. They're giving the heals. Duana is so hurt right now. Rip gets that nice sticky onto him. 2 players up from Froyo, one of which is a respawn, and they should be able to take this midpoint here.
They should indeed. They're moving forwards. Flippy the only casualty for their team. They've got a fair bit of time to use this Uber advantage, about 12 seconds. Ticking down now, actually, only 8. So Shade backing off into lobby. I think the best they can hope for at this point is to grab the point. Banny's in for a nice bomb though. Straight onto Bull. Bull's not going to take any risks there. In the case of a sync rocket or something like that, Shade goes down to about half health, and they have popped off the Uber charge, but 3 players from nerdRage have gone down. bluee is chasing with the Uber. Flippy is desperately trying to get out. He does finish the camp though, so that's going to delay froyotech a little bit and give some of his team a few forward spawns. Tech manages to find the frag on Duana behind. Surely going to get cleaned up though.
He's very low on health, 1 health to be exact. bluee comes through, cleans up onto that frag here, so we're down to just 6 minutes and 20 seconds left here. If nerdRage wants to get back into this game, they absolutely need to pick a round up. At this point, they're so far behind, there's not that much time left. I don't know if they can get back into this one, but you have to imagine that they're going to at least try. They're starting to... It looks like they want to move in through kitchen. Oh, this could be bad here. Banny from up top is going to be raining down rockets. bluee actually came through from behind, was able to grab 2 with his original, and only 2 guys up on the side of nerdRage at the moment. Tech and Zebasai down in the lower flank area. Froyo looking good. They have a full Uber, and they want to get ready to move through here. Definitely trying to force it. Tech was playing up top in a cheeky spot, but Banny knew it right away. He checked it, and with just a few health, he keeps himself alive, and nerdRage not looking to be in best of positions right now.
There's 5.5 minutes left. It has to be an instant turnaround here from nerdRage. Bull maybe getting caught in this choke point. No, great pipes from Rip to be able to juggle that pocket soldier there. Oh, great pipe as well. Banny destroyed, and Bull going to stay alive. He has that crits. It's going to be up in about 15 seconds. And by that time, there will only be 5 minutes left on the clock. Almost every round has to be a minute long if they want to take this. It's going well for them so far. This is a change of momentum for nerdRage. They've got quite a few frags here. 4v3 before that one spawner came in for froyotech. And they're going to want to push this forwards. Rib be probably leading this crits push on the sawmill side.
They have that crits ready to go. Rib needs to hit some big stickies right here. Duana catches Stark in the sticky trap. Banny comes in to grab his other side, but Rib was able to get Banny. They popped off this crits. It was just a little bit too late. They managed to find Duana with it, but that was it. The rest of the players get absolutely annihilated on the side of nerdRage. Tech is still in on the second point. He may go down here as well. He's already caught it. Great shot on a Clockwork, but in the end did get taken out. And nerdRage here, I think, maybe going down on this map as well. Just 4 minutes and 20 seconds left. And that will be froyotech coming out, grabbing the second point.
Yeah, they've got the second point, and with Stark setting up a heavy, it looks like they don't want to instantly push out. Do they not realize that the time is against them here? They absolutely have to go if they want any chance at taking this map or drawing it level. That's the best they can hope for, actually, is just to draw it level at 4-4, and each one of these rounds has to be 1 minute long. Let's see how froyotech play the time as well. Let's have a listen into their team comms if we can.
Top left.
AC is out.
Coming in above. They're not gonna push? No, they're just trying to get 5 out of this one. They're gonna crits, they're definitely gonna crits. Yeah.
We're 80. I'm not in a good spot right now.
Watch him,
Just build behind you. Don't show yourself, Ash.
They're literally just trying to. They're talking about the next map. They're not trying to push. They lost. So what do you want to do on fucking process?
Oh, let's
process.
cut the covers off there before we reveal anything for the next map. Both of the teams seem to have just called it quits there. Yeah, it's odd that nerdRage haven't even gone for that. They're really just holding. I think froyotech's assessment of the situation probably correct. That they are just focusing on process for now. Clockwork and a suicide in with the Boston Basher. Maybe switch over to Sniper, see if they can close this one out 5-0. Not the result I was expecting on this map, though.
No, not at all. nerdRage just didn't seem to really show up here. I mean, Froyo was looking great, to give them credit. They're looking fantastic on this map, and I mean, we will be heading on to process next, so it'll be rather interesting. But Froyo's definitely looking how we're used to seeing them at the moment. I mean, I'm surprised nerdRage didn't even put up a round on the board in that game.
Yeah, they were outplayed in a lot of those situations, missed out on some crucial pushes onto second, shot by Banning to send the soldier from nerdRage flying far, far away. He's going to try and snipe here. Clockwork gets a headshot onto Stark, see if they can close this out 5-0. That will send a message over to nerdRage. Clockwork gets a snipe onto Flippy, another body shot onto Rib as well, and that's 5-0. That's all she wrote for CP Snakewater there, our third map.
Dominating performance from froyotech there. And you can see some sick shots from Tech that he had just towards the end of that last round there. Really, really good stuff from him, but it just wasn't good enough to close out the game. I couldn't quite do it, and you can see this little frag highlight reel from Clockwork from at the end too. Not that it really mattered all that much, but I mean, what happened? What happened to nerdRage in that game? Because they looked pretty good coming in. You know, them losing on Viaduct to me was it was to be expected. To me, it wasn't a cause for concern. But then they come in here and just I don't even know what happened to them. Just not looking all that good.
Yeah, let's throw it over to War and Mike, who join us again on the Analysts panel. What did go wrong for them there?
I think they never really found any momentum. I mean, I can't say I was there for the whole of it because I did get myself a lovely coffee from the Rico Arena here at Coventry. But I was watching some of it on my phone anyway, and they just completely lost momentum in too many places. They were never really dictating the pace of the game. I mean, if we can get the logs up, I mean, funny enough, Ash's top fragging, which is probably after, well, from what I can see on TFTV, everybody was talking about the look that Bunny gave him when he killed himself as an engineer. And people talking about that he's desperately trying to find out if it's possible to get Lansky over to replace him right now, but he definitely stepped up and he was really, really good that game. Blaze, again, he's been really consistent over the entirety of the map. And if you look at the lowly bottom of the scoreboard, you will see Zebasai with a very lowly and sad-looking one-digit frag there.
And only 190 damage per minute there from the Roma/Scout of nerdRage.
What is it? I think Stark 185 damage per minute. I mean, I wasn't even aware that Lupus was here at LAN, but apparently he is. I don't know, he seems to be fake nicking his two people, but yeah, there just seemed to be no real momentum from nerdRage, especially from the other maps. They look like they have moments where they would put the pace, you know, how they want to play it, but they just got rocked.
What do you think, Mike, was it just a problem with individual players not having the performance on that map?
I think it was the soldiers on middle. Like, on every middle, Tech and Zebasai went up top and went for directs on scouts, like every middle, and they just weren't hitting their shots. Like, I think the fact that Zebasai and Stark were playing different classes on Sunshine means Zebasai isn't like properly warmed up to Soldier. Like, he's not playing nearly as good as he was yesterday on this map. And I think they lost every middle due to the fact that their soldiers just weren't getting anything done up top, like missing everything. They could have done just like a double bomb onto this demo, and then they would have got a guaranteed kill instead of going for the scouts all the time with directs. I think maybe they're lacking confidence after losing Viaduct, so they were going for like hero plays to try and like get some confidence back, but it just wasn't happening. And then the only times like nerdRage managed to push back through middle after losing it, they something would go wrong in like storeroom or lower. Like a scout would come from behind and block the cap when they were trying to go last and stuff like that. They never really got a good chance at last.
And just before we talk a little bit more about Analysis, there is a raffle going on, scrap.tf/TFTV, running throughout this game. So have a look at that. The link is on your screen as well. That's a raffle hosted by the guys over at ScrapTF. So check that out. You can type !raffle in the stream chat as well. So what does that do for nerdRage coming forwards into our fourth map here? Because 5-0 for a team in a grand final. We've seen it before, but yeah, both of you were on the losing end of that. But
yeah, we've all seen it before.
Were we? I don't remember that.
You blanked it out your memory.
I think it's because we were too blackout drunk from the night before. You know?
But what does that do to a team?
Jesus. Well, you see what
folds
happened.
It folds them.
Because we only got one cap, which was a back cap, and then we just lost the other map in about 10 minutes anyway. God, I hope they don't sort of take it too heavy. The problem is, though, that this is their map choice, and they beat them yesterday 5-2 on it, so they had a convincing victory.
Yeah.
It's going to be really, really sort of bad for them to come back. I mean, they've really got to sort of get to a point where I thought they had a map advantage. But is that changed because they were from upper bracket, or was that?
No, they don't have any map advantage coming into this. It's just a set best of 5. Yeah. So with froyotech already having 2 maps here with Viaduct and Snakewater, if they take either of Process or Badlands, they have won Insomnia 55 and beaten nerdRage. Can they do it? Can nerdRage feasibly take Process, which is arguably froyotech's best map?
I think it's
Badlands.
Good for nerdRage though, because it's sniper heavy and you can also slow down the map anyway by yourself. Like there's a lot more rooms to just sort of, I mean, last can be very, very stalematey. The only thing that I am worried about is that froyotech are, well, yeah, as you said, it's the best map. Their last defenses are insane. Like I remember from last year where we tried about 10 different times to push their last. I mean, we had crits advantages. I mean, well, we had a crit disadvantage because I was the one using it. Uber advantages, everything. And the only time that we managed to break it was from a fortunate back cap. And that is going to be a scary prospect going up into this map for them, I think.
Yeah, it's really strange because I thought Viaduct would be kind of like a throwaway map for nerdRage. I thought they'd expect kind of not to win Viaduct, but to win every other map. But I certainly wasn't expecting that. But at the very least, like nerdRage, that should be like a slap on the face to just like get it together. Because luckily for them, it's a best of 5 final, not a best of 3, which
absolutely
most European teams aren't used to. So they probably got the mentality that it was over, but now they've got like a fresh breath of life. Like they have one more chance than they would normally have, and they also beat froyotech on this map yesterday, so they know it's possible.
We've seen Gecks froyotech struggle a little bit with pushing Process last on occasion. They've had some dodgy pushes into the last themselves, especially against nerdRage's last defense. What do you think about these two teams battling it out on Process?
I don't know, man. I think froyotech feels really hot right now. And I mean, I don't want to say it's impossible for nerdRage to take this map, but it's, I don't know, with the way froyotech's playing and the way that nerdRage had to play yesterday to win Process against froyotech, I personally don't see it happening. I mean, it would be great to see it, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't see it. It's, I don't know if they're also down a little bit mentally right now, nerdRage. I mean, it would be, I guess, understandable, but this is also go time for them. You know, if they lose, they are completely done, and froyotech has won 2 I-Series in a row, so it's absolutely time for them to step it up.
And nerdRage really have to. I mean, they have to win the next 2 maps completely clearly. There can be absolutely no messing up from here on out. They need to take Process, and they need to take Badlands as well. I mean, how confident would you be in the Europeans here in nerdRage?
I would have been really confident if they didn't just get 5-0'd. Yeah. But because of that, it's going to be, I'm not feeling confident now.
Yeah, I'm really scared for them.
Yeah.
But like, if they do somehow manage to get over onto Badlands, Badlands would be anyone's game. So they just have to rough this map out, and then it's 50-50 from then on.
Yeah, well, Froyo didn't, they didn't have the best of games on Badlands earlier.
No.
That's why I believe it was,
Yeah, they were playing against Reason Gaming on Badlands, and Cadus was finding it really easy to lock out Duon on those mid fights. He was, they were able to get a lot of pressure across the mids, and they had better individual performances than essentially most of the players on froyotech on Badlands. That it was a clear weakness for them in that Reason versus froyotech game.
Yeah,
but
I mean, this
will
is where
they
you
even
really
make it there?
Well, I mean, the thing is that they did beat them yesterday on Process. It was really, really narrow, but they did beat them. So
it can be done.
But having just said that, they did beat them yesterday on Snakewater more convincingly, and then just gets absolutely smashed. So it's going to be. I can't really predict it, to be honest, but I think because Process is a sniper-heavy map, it can work for them. I mean. And Snakewater is good for a sniper, but you are restricted to certain sight lines. And obviously, when it was made to a final version, there were more adjustments to make, it less sniper-friendly. Whereas I think, for example, Process, you can run sniper at mid, and they did that on Sunshine, and it worked really well. The problem with Process is that Blazers is really, really good rolling out and getting instant aggression on the demo man. However, Riv isn't. Is too much of a stranger to being pressured on mid. I mean, he has to go against Cadus, who's ridiculously good on this map, so he's got a lot of practice on being under pressure straight away on a rollout.
I think the nerdRage guys had paid attention as well to the game on Process, and they realized what Blaze and Banny do on the mid fights. You see Blaze going very quickly, he always does the first rollout. Banny as well has a very quick rollout where he then does a double jump and sink bombs the players that choke. So it's an interesting strategy. It was one that they struggled with. It really does counter them running a sniper to the mid.
It does, but I think if anyone can do it, nerdRage can, I mean...
It should be a chant.
It should, yeah. I mean, the crowd should get behind that. I've just made it up on the spot. I'm such a, cunning with that. But,
sure, it'll be spam in the chat here very shortly, don't worry.
Yeah, we need to get pog champs and all that sort. But anyway, I think... you never know. Flippy can just turn it around, and he's done it already today on Sunshine, where he's been able to get a decent string of headshots going. So I just hope that they can make it work. They really have to, if they're going to run it, they're going to have to play around it a lot. They really have to make sure that they buy him as much time on middle. The problem is that on Sunshine there isn't like a really, really fast rollout that's reliable that you can get into their face and make it effective. Whereas on Process, they're all going to be bunched up by the rock pretty much. It's easier for your teammates to follow up on you as well, and the distance isn't as far, so it's going to be harder for him to be a real, harder for them to really make him as effective as he can be. He literally has to be hitting heads as soon as he arrives.
Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing froyotech playing the mids incredibly aggressively in order to try and counteract it, because they have to go into the mid assuming they're running a sniper in order to counter it. If they turn up to the mid at the same time as the sniper, then realize he's there, then try to go aggressive, by that time it's really too late to lock the guy out. So it has to be a preset decision, and it was working well for them before. I think there were 5 mids played on Process, of which froyotech only won 2, but the 2 that they won were really fast wipes, and they got a lot of position very early with the bombs from Blaze and Banny. I think we're going to see nerdRage reacting to what froyotech do on mid rather than the other way around.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree with that.
Like on Sunshine earlier, when Flippy went sniper, it's interesting yesterday when they tried that, the sniper to mid on Process, Banny did the double jump, and it meant nerdRage couldn't do the sniper play. But they managed to pull it off on Sunshine, even though Banny was doing basically the same jump, and it's a similar mid where he'd do a double jump into their choke. But nerdRage seemed to have the answer and just focus. They killed him pretty quickly, and he didn't manage to kill anyone. So, and actually the mids they had sniper were their best. So if they can transfer that from their Sunshine game to their Process game and make the sniper on mid work, then yeah.
What kind of things do they have to work on here? What mistakes can they learn from in the previous maps that they can try and improve for the Process?
I think they just have to react to whatever Froyo throw at them, and they have to do it really quickly. There isn't sort of time for them to sit there and sort of, start debating on what they need to do. It is literally just comes down to the call, what it is that they're going to do. If if Froyo get momentum again, like they just gave them on Snakewater, it's going to be an easy win for them. They have to, I feel, not be afraid to just sort of slow the game down as much as they can in their favor. I would like to see a lot more off-classing like they did in Sunshine, be a little bit more creative in their class lineups. And if they just sort of play how they played on Sunshine, they'll be absolutely fine. I think they're just feeling a little bit too rocked. And I would say it pretty much all stemmed from Viaduct. I mean, they felt confident and they had a game plan. And from speaking to Zebo, they, you know, they really had a game plan to fight against it, and it just didn't work out. And I feel that they're sort of a bit, you know, questioning, and because they're on the back foot as well, it's going to be even worse. But Froyo have been in this position before. They've been under pressure. They've been in a position where they're about to win, so it definitely favors them because they can close this out easily.
That's the thing too. I think this is really where froyotech starts to shine, is when they were in positions like they were coming into the finals. You know, they lost yesterday, and they even lose the first map, but you can never count Froyo out in any sense. And, you know, I think once they won that Viaduct, they just started to roll with it. They felt great on Snake, and now they're going into Process, which I have word is just about to start here very shortly. I would assume within the next minute or so, so we should be going live then. But I really think these are the times when Froyo starts to shine. You know, before we get into it, though, any final predictions, words from you guys here for at least this map?
I say 4-2 to Froyo.
4-2.
I'd say 5-1 to Froyo, but like was completely right in that nerdRage needs to do a lot more off-classing, because not only do our nerdRage really good at off-classing, it also helps slow the game down a lot, which is really benefiting nerdRage so far, or has been today and yesterday.
Yeah, Froyo are a hyper-aggressive team, and they play so well and so coordinated when they're moving forwards. And on Sunshine, they were able to slow things down and get it moving at their pace. It gave them the luxury to run that sniper and allow them to be always pushing at an advantage. So if they're able to do that, if Zebasai's able to come out with some masterful plays instead of going 8 for 21 or whatever he managed the previous map, it does come down to individual performance in a sense as well, because they needed those fantastic plays to boost them through the previous encounter on Process against froyotech. They are so good on this map. It's going to be a very tough one once again for nerdRage. I reckon they can do it, though. I still believe in them. I think we'll go to our 5th decider map, CP Badlands. I have faith in my European brethren.
Do you have a score prediction for us? I'm curious to hear that as well.
I think it's going to be 5-4. I'm going to go 5-4 to nerdRage.
5-4.
Golden cap or just 5-4
no,
normal
just 5-4,
time?
just 5-4 normal time.
Bold
With process of froyotech of half the cap time, just as the last second dies away.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a bold. That's
That is a very bold and very specific prediction.
Very bold. I don't know. We'll have to see. This is our 4th map in the best of 5. nerdRage absolutely needs to win this one if they want to move on to the 5th and final map and keep themselves in these i55 World Finals for TF2 here. And it looks like we are just about to go live as we speak. So we are heading into it. Process will be our 4th map here. We are getting geared up for this mid here.
Yeah, this is our 4th map, potentially the final map. froyotech only need this one to go forwards. Let's see how they go. Zebasai is going to steal both of the health kits there as Rib rolls out from sewers. They're putting some stickies down on the right-hand side as well, but Benny hasn't gone for that bomb like he did previously. Benny now jumping at the same time as Blaze. Tech's taking a ton of damage, as has Zebasai. Zebasai finished off there, and froyotech are going to be moving forward once again.
And Tech has bombed right back in here. nerdRage down 3 players though, and Froyo wants to keep on moving straight into them here. The Ubers are even. Bull has managed to stay alive right now, and so has Shay. They both have an Uber here. Froyo's already pushing on into 2nd here, and nerdRage really can't do much about it until they get these respawns. Stark is going to be coming up on Engineer here quickly, trying to get himself on the sentry gun. Flippy, as you would expect, is coming up on Sniper here and going for these shots. Still has yet to find anything. They just keep spamming Stark's sentry gun down as soon as he puts one up. He doesn't really have any room to build it, but no, actually Zebasai's gained full entrance down into lower lobby here. He was thinking about going for a bomb, but decided to just back off. But it's given nerdRage actually a little bit of room to move forward here, as they are inside of the lobby for the time being, though Tech has taken quite a bit of damage. Froyo still holding tight on these battlements here. They actually had Clockwork come up on Sniper at the moment. See maybe if he can find a big Zebasai, very close to falling here, but he is backing himself up, and Stark has managed to also get his gun up to a level 3 here. So they will have, as Marxist in North America would say, the 7th man to help them on their defense for this last push. And Clockwork and Flippy still going at it though. And Clockwork coming in actually from all the way on the right side. Had a really good look at Flippy, but he just turns around, does a quick flick, and lands that shot right on the Clockwork's head. So nerdRage now looking to peek a bit aggressively in towards the lobby. But Tech on the battlements. Flippy will be moving up that way as well to see if he can find a lane for a shot, but still has yet to find anything here. And he's actually going, he's still looking for that shot on the battlements, but they're aware of it now. They've backed off. So we're just going to be waiting here till one of these guys, Clockwork or Flippy, somebody's got to do it, initiate this push. Actually, Banny's trying to do it himself. He comes in and takes down Tech. That's going to cue the push.
And Banny coming in here now. It does die in that Uber charge, actually. The Stark and Zebasai finish him off. Got just dropped to the end of that Uber. The counter did come out from nerdRage as Zebasai tries to poke out here. They're looking for a little bit of room. Ash and Blaze hanging around here, but it's a big bomb from Zebasai. Tries to get onto Clockwork, knocks him down really weak, down to about 30 health, but hasn't found the frag. And that might open things up for Clockwork as well. Without a roaming soldier to pressure him out of certain situations, he might have enough room to go for a bigger, juicier frag.
He just might. Banny's taking quite a bit of damage as well over towards rollout. Tech was feeding him rockets, and Flippy finds Blaze here this time. Gets himself a decently juicy pick there, so that will be at least a one-man advantage in favor of nerdRage. Zebasai is going to go in for the counter-sack. Banny absolutely denies him, and Ash cleans up on the damage. And both medics here will shortly be coming up on an Uber. And Clockwork is still up on Sniper, Flippy on Sniper as well, and Stark on the Engineer. So Froyo now maybe looking to make a push. I mean, well, I thought they were for a second, playing around Clockwork though over on the shutter side.
Clockwork just misses that frag there onto Tech. And he's going to re-peek again on this bottom right-hand side. See if he can get an angle onto somebody. He saw Flippy there for a moment, I think. Flippy's going to be rotating around looking for a pick of his own. But it's that medic or a demo or something like that that they really want. froyotech would probably be all right with the pick on the Sniper or the Engineer, as that really opens them up to take down the off-classes, which are so strong on the defense on Process. But Flippy's looking for something really juicy in order to be able to push out with the rest of nerdRage. Clockwork takes a bit of damage on that right-hand side, but they're just going to be recycling these snipers around until somebody shows themselves. But who's it going to be who manages to get the frag?
Yeah, very slow play from these guys so far. Very chess match-like. Want to make these moves very calculated, precise. Clockwork takes the head off of Zebasai. Maybe Froyo will start to push on that. It's about these times when they get impatient anyway, and they want to start making some moves. And they were able to even spam down that sentry gun, so even better for them. They've made their way and they pop the Uber. Bull still has a full one though, takes a rocket, and now we'll cue the pop out of them. Ash may be a bit caught in here. He's still sitting up top. And maybe a bit of a distraction as well. Rib has gone down. Flippy's going to go out of this fight as well. Clockwork and Ash are both down, but nerdRage losing players like crazy here. Froyo may be able to come in on a repush here and finish off this round, but they do have Bull feeding the heals onto the point. Froyo still just coming right in here. Rib got some good stickies off onto Dewatna. They're holding it for the time being. They get Blaze as well, and that is going to make Froyo push all the way back out to choke, and a good defense from nerdRage.
Yeah, it was a 4v3 there in favor of Froyotech. The spawns were coming in for another 10 seconds, but nerdRage still managed to hold it. Banny and Clockwork really weak there and will actually get taken down, or at least Clockwork will. Banny managed to escape back to Shade. Gonna get healed up and recontest his Spire, but gets denied very easily there by Stark. Ash as well took so much damage. They're almost 3 down, and nerdRage have just got their spawner. Now should be the time for them to pounce, see if they can get onto froyotech, force out a disadvantageous Uber trade. But bluee doesn't actually have his Uber up, and there's the pop. He's on 99%, does actually get it, so that's perfectly fine. He'll be able to trade his Ubers, but the roaming soldier of Zebasai has disappeared off the map into the spawn queue. And Ash and Clockwork both being found. Those are some key picks here for froyotech to lose.
Oh, Tech gets eaten up by Bandy though. Stark was able to grab Duat and Froyo with only 3 players up at the moment. I think this is about time for nerdRage to get a little aggressive here, gain some ground, and they are starting to make their exit out of choke here. Froyo is, and nerdRage in total control of this midpoint. Froyo has got their respawns though, but they're still down Duatna. They did just get him as a respawn as well. He'll be joining the fight here shortly, but for the time being, it's just going to be Froyo holding on second place, is also inside of sewer. So something for nerdRage to keep an eye on. I think they're actually aware of it. They're searching for him, but now both medics now coming up on this Uber.
It's been 7 minutes so far, and neither team managed to put a round on the board. Clockwork takes a 1v1 against Flippy, and he's now going to try and come out. Gets caught by those stickies, though. bluee now the only player really holding that PC area. Might try and shunt into there and see if they can get that frag on the roaming soldier from froyotech, but instead, looking like they're just content to trade some spamming through choke, see if they can soften Froyo up, or vice versa. Froyotech also would be willing to push if they got enough damage out onto nerdRage as they're around that choke point. But it could well be a case that froyotech aim to open this up with a Roma bomb, or maybe nerdRage transitioning Zebasai around in that PC might go for something as well. Very tentative play here from both of the teams. It's going to be sniper v sniper though. That's how we're going to break this stalemate.
That is once again the decider of the stalemate here, as it was for a good portion of yesterday as well when they played this map. Flippy missing that shot though. We're in the sewer area at the moment, but these guys really have been liking to take this game slow here on process. We haven't seen any play quite this slow so far today. Benny bombs into the choke though. He was able to take care of Flippy quite easily. bluee gets Zebasai as well inside of IT, so that will surely cue a push out of froyotech here. They're already in through the choke point. Bull just might get caught in. It looks like nerdRage wants to take this fight. They're going to try and take the Uber right into him. Counterpop comes out. Tech was able to snag up Clockwork for a frag, and Stark is still behind. He's going to try and cause a distraction, but he actually is. He's all the way back on second right now, capping up the point, and they do have to go all the way back to try and find him. That's an excellent play to distract him, and he'll even go back towards the spawn area as well, just to mix things up even further for them, and that allows nerdRage to just push right in towards this second point. They may even be able to finish this cap off.
Yeah, I think they will. Flippy and Stark playing around the point. The rest of nerdRage are close behind them. Ash and bluee have gone down, and the rest of froyotech really quite far forwards. Yeah, at risk of getting picked here. Zebasai gonna bomb in. Gets one rocket on the shade and another at the end there to take down the froyotech medic. Bull is still alive, flanked by his aggressive scout Stark and the pocket soldier Tech. They might wait for their respawners before they push. They've allowed froyotech to recap that spire. They're working off the Uber advantage here. Gonna look to take another team fight. I push forwards with it. But bluee and Clockwork, I really want to get that Uber charge out of them without them being able to win a round.
Tech takes down bluee too, but Banny will bomb back out. Awesome shot from Tech, denies Banny, but the rest of Froyo is coming out here. Maybe time to pop this off, just maybe. Zebasai was very hurt. They decide to hang on to it, and rightfully so, because they do manage to hold off all those froyotech players that came charging in towards them, and they have this Uber advantage now to push into last. It looks like they want to take it straight in through lobby. They pop this off. They'll take everybody in. bluee is up on heavy. They have not yet focused him down. They tried to just focus the point, but they haven't really found any frags as of yet. They're actually down one on froyotech. Duatna is hurt. Tech is going to bomb straight back across here to try and get some damage out, but they're just getting melted all over this last point. It's Bull who wisely got out when the fight started to go sour, but a good defense here from froyotech.
It certainly is a good defense from froyotech, but nerdRage played that one a little oddly. They weren't able to focus down Shade either. They only got 20 damage onto, got him down to 20 health, and he was able to escape, dropping into Panic Room and then back down into spawn. Both of the scouts here are going to focus down Flippy, And Duana and bluee moving close to the choke, now transitioning over to PC. And they're going to try and push this with that 40% Uber advantage that they have, and they're already in.
They decide to pop this Uber off down in there. Bull's going to get taken out by Clockwork. Tech is taken out of the map as well by bluee, and nerdRage is just getting annihilated on the second point. Rib and Flippy are the only two up for nerdRage at the moment. froyotech already getting themselves into this last point as Clockwork is closing in. He's up top. Ash will come across the point as well. There is a level 1 down there, not quite able. Actually, Clockwork might go down to it. He's very, very hurt up top. Still has yet to die. Finally, the Sentry will be able to finish him off, but Froyo still has about 25% advantage here on the Ubers.
They do. They're on 60% now, but I think nerdRage is going to push before they get that. They know that Clockwork's down and Tech's in front of the rest of his team, making space for them. Flippy's found bluee as well, so that's opening things up a little more here. Neither of the froyotech flank really in a position to make things happen. Sebasai's jump behind, but he's really going to take a 3v1 there, as the rest of his team not anywhere near close enough to help him out. And now that they've got the point, nerdRage are slipping. Only 2 of them left alive as the aggression comes in from froyotech. Both of their scouts moving forwards. I don't know whether Rib's going to be able to hold on to this. Bull's got his Uber charge just about now. They have managed to get the Uber, but they can't get onto the point. The first round to froyotech there on CP process. That was a long round as well, 13 minutes.
Very long one indeed. Just back and forth, a very slow play, but in the end, Froyo does take that 1-round lead. If they win this map, they will be your i55 champions, as they are now up 2 maps to 1 in this best of 5. nerdRage trying to get back into it here as they head on into the mid. Tech already taking some high ground along with Stark and Sebasai, who actually Sebasai is switched on back to Scout now, and Tech is just about to go down here. I think he gets finished off as both teams actually down a couple of players now. Zeb and Tech both out of it. Ash and Banny are down as well as the mid fight continues. bluee bombs over. He's able to take out Rib, and he sends a good rocket into Flippy, who's able to actually surf it, but he is quite hurt. Stark will chase down bluee, and he was able to clean up on the rest of that damage there. Shade and Duatna both getting out back to their second point here as nerdRage caps up on that midpoint.
Yeah, I didn't think that they were going to run the sniper to mid, but Flippy taking that sniper role to this second mid fight, mixing it up there, and they do win the mid in the end. froyotech looking to defend their second point. Both teams have their Uber charges. Both mids survived the mid fight. Despite almost everybody else on the teams going down, they both stay alive there, Boom and Shade, and that's going to mean that there's an opportunity to try and turn a pick and get themselves into this second point, nerdRage. They're going to be opening this door so that Flippy can snipe, but he's going to be trying to span them down as much as he can so that Flippy can't get an angle on anybody.
Just slows things up greatly when froyotech is doing a really good job of just not showing anything to Flippy for them to get a pick on. But that's justice. I say that he actually gets the body shot into Ash. Bandy was able to take out Flippy though. nerdRage still hanging tight in this choke. They're forced to use the Uber though as Bull started to take a lot of damage, and Shade still holding on to his Uber, and Bandy will just jump straight ahead. He might be able to catch out Bull. Indeed he does. Stark goes down. Rib as well among the victims. Tech comes right back in trying to save the day, maybe get a force onto Shade, but that will not go, and Froyo capping up on the mid. They have an absolutely full Uber advantage. It'll have to be up to Flippy from the forward spawn here to make some sort of a play.
Yeah, he's going to be peeking in just a second as soon as they see him. They've seen him now, and he switches off instantly back to Sniper on that last point, changing classes in order to change his spawn. 14 minutes, 40 seconds, 1-0 the scoreline for froyotech. They're going to be wanting to make that 2-0 within the next few seconds. They have a 70% Uber advantage. Looks like they're going to move from that lobby area. Coming in the Uber from middle left, but Banny's being denied by the sentry pretty hard there. Stark is able to switch over to Scout. Nobody's died yet from nerdRage. There's the first casualty. Sebasai up top goes down to Banny. They trade for Ash, and now it looks like they might try and play on the point. Banny's got such a good position here. Does manage to take down Tech. Stark and Bull fairly weak as well. It's scrappy, but Banny is just not being contested. Oh, Bull getting a frag actually, and Sebasai on the respawn. It's still 4v4. The heals in favor of Shade, but do they have enough fragging classes available in enough position? No, it doesn't look like it. Will Shade get chased down as well? No, it looks like the master of staying alive does it once again. Shade is going to escape through that PC area as everybody from nerdRage gets their respawn and thinks about pushing onwards with that small Uber advantage they have.
Banny is trying to contest them a bit. They're forced to use this Uber up a choke, and they lost Flippy before they even got into the fight. This is dangerous. They don't want to go too far here. Zebasai is still in. Banny's going to bomb. Actually, that's Blaze straight back on, and Rib gets annihilated. Stark down as well. 2 players up, Bull and Zebasai. froyotech moving through now with a full Uber, and they should be able to cap up on this second point, take it straight on home, and potentially take a 2-0 lead here.
They absolutely could. froyotech are now going to be pushing in through this rollout. Here comes the Uber charge. Banny's leading him forwards, trying to get on the Bull there. It does a nice rocket. Oh, Bulls are going to be able to escape that 50% Uber charge. Meets back up with Flippy. Although, oh my goodness, Banny nearly got a second chance at Bull there. Missed it the second time as well, but the froyotech players not dropping. Clockwork and Ash teaming up together to take down everybody. Bull goes for a swing, but it's not going to happen. froyotech extend their lead to 2-0 here, Gecks.
Oh man, I think froyotech can start to taste victory here, maybe. There's still 12 minutes and 30 seconds. nerdRage can certainly get themselves back into this, but froyotech is feeling very good at the moment, and you can bet that they will not let up at all. Zebasai trying to come right on into Duatna, gave him a really nice rocket. Flippy's running sniper to mid here once again, and nerdRage will try and get control of this right-hand side, but here comes Banny, big bomb on the Bull, and Duatna finishes it off. Blaze was able to get Zebasai 3 players down on the side of nerdRage, 2 down on froyotech. Shade gets Tech as well with an arrow, but Flippy was able to find Duatna with a big headshot. Stark is still in at the moment, and Flippy's just going to have to provide support from all the way back in choke, and Bandy's trying to take care of him. Flippy might just get caught in here. Finds Blaze with a headshot as well. That's 2 frags for him. Might even get a look at Shade in a moment. Just barely won a shot on a Bandy by Flippy. Oh. He could have gotten Shade as well if he didn't pop off that Uber, but he is trying to get himself out of there. Great stuff from Flippy on this mid, which is still being fought at the moment. No clear winner as of yet. nerdRage comes right back.
There he goes.
Finding Shade as well. He wouldn't let him get out of there alive. He just wouldn't let it happen, and that is a mid win for nerdRage. Really just because of Flippy there. That was fantastic.
Yeah, and Flippy can win you pushes like that. It's just unfortunate. Start taking 1v1 against Clockwork and loses that one. Clockwork with his insane DM comes out on top, and he's going to be pestering them from behind. nerdRage, instead of going back to help out Flippy with the thorn in their side that is Clockwork, instead choose to cap that point off. They're going to find the frag on a Blaze here. Surely no, Blaze is going to disappear in a puff of smoke as well, and Clockwork and Blaze are going to be harassing them from the side as froyotech push in. This time though, they back off, deal with the player behind, and still have that sniper on the respawn. But it's an Uber advantage here for froyotech.
It is indeed about 40% for them to work with. Right now, nerdRage, they're aware of this. They're all the way back in their choke. Well, they're on the mid. They were looking to go back towards choke. They're ready to leave when they need to, basically. Zebasai is playing quite sneaky as well outside of the sewer, but they're not coming that way. They're moving through IT. Ash was dropped. Zebasai was able to find that frag, but Froyo just sends forward here. Flippy, who's very hurt, manages to narrowly escape. Clockwork is still in here. He'll try and take down Flippy if possible. Stark was able to get Blaze in the middle of the fight here. nerdRage combo is right back in choke. Clockwork getting the meat shots, able to take down Rib, but Tech will exchange out with him for that one, and Zebasai goes down to Duatna. So actually, Stark, I believe he went all the way back onto the second point. He's causing a distraction to Froyo.
Yeah, he is behind them. He just needs a player to make a play onto... Oh, it misses 4 shots in a row, though.
Man.
Didn't do a single point of damage there to Shade. Shade giving him a fantastic dodge there. Only 3 players left alive from froyotech. 5 from froyotech, 3 from nerdRage, and they just lost Bull as well. Not looking good here for them. 9 minutes remaining. They need to turn this around if they want the victory on this map. It's been slow so far this game. Only 2-0 to froyotech, but nerdRage have the ability to win on this map. They managed it yesterday. They just need to find that same form and be able to come up with some ridiculous individual plays. The Ubers actually popped out of froyotech here, and nerdRage have scattered. They are not to be seen.
They're all over the place. Zebasai was the only victim of that Uber, but Froyo still looking keen maybe to continue a push here. Zebasai has 15 seconds on that respawn. Froyo is making their way into lobby just a bit, but actually they decide to back off and not take the push on in with that pick on Zebasai. nerdRage has some Uber advantage here. Once again, about 30%, but I don't know if they're going to move off this, because they still have, well, they had Stark back building that sentry, but I think they realize that they have the advantage now and they need to start moving off of it with only 8 minutes left. They can't sit around for all that long here. They may have to use this as well. They are going to pop it off, but I think Shade's going to be able to get himself out of here. He's already out of this to keep his Uber up and running. 2 players down from nerdRage. Froyo just collapses right back onto them on this second point, baked them into the push. They'll pop the Uber as well. Bull is going to get caught out up top here in just a second. It's only Rib to try and defend this point. It's not looking good for nerdRage. Froyo on the point. They are going to take a 3-0 lead in this 4th map.
And let's see how nerdRage are going to reply to this by having a listen into their team comms. The score is 3-0. They need to come up with something.
Going to demo. I'm going point. Starting capping.
Let's be aggressive.
Got take 40 tablets. Demo down. Nice.
Nice.
Coming on point. Coming on point.
Jump down. Nice.
Nice. Took 70.
All on balcony, all on balcony. Medics in lobby now.
Not converted.
Should go on, guys. Should go on.
No demo, no demo.
They're top left. Top line.
I don't have it.
I'm on point. Top line room.
Yeah, we're in rollout. I'm on 80%.
Sniper right. 70 left.
Weak, very weak.
Going down.
Down.
I didn't have it.
We should have waited for Uber.
Oh, that was looking so good there for nerdRage, but they just got a little ahead of themselves.
They did, and you could even hear it. Bull was saying we should have waited for Uber, and they didn't have it. Just got absolutely annihilated because of it. They also have Clockwork, who's playing very sneaky. He's actually inside of the mid. That Uber gets forced out of shade here, but Froyo is looking to continue their push on forward here. Stark's going to get caught into it. Banny bombing straight in through to the choke here, trying to get this pick onto Rib, who is extremely hurt at the moment, but Tech has come to his aid. Should be able to find this frag on a Banny, I would expect. Finally, he gets finished off there, but Tech and Flippy fall because of it, and they are just getting piled on here. Bull caught out wide in the open. Zebasai trying desperately to save his medic, but it just can't be done. nerdRage looking very dire here. They've been pushed all the way back to last. Shade is going to have some pretty large advantage here as well.
He is indeed. Stark running that spy at the same time as Flippy runs the sniper on the defense. They're going to attempt to get the pick onto Shade or something, but Stark was spotted by Blaze there in that rollout area, possibly just by some random spam. I'm not quite sure how Blaze spotted him, but either way, the spy is dead, and froyotech have an Uber in about 7 seconds here. They're going to be taking control of lobby, I think, and pushing from around there. They favored these middle entrances into last on process, and their pushes have not been half bad today.
They are set up inside a lobby. nerdRage is. Froyo has an Uber right now, though. They need to be careful not to get crushed inside of this lobby. Can't really make any moves out. The time is starting to become extremely important in this game. 4 minutes and 50 seconds left, and they're still down 3 rounds with a possibility of going down yet another round here. They're kind of just playing the clock at the moment. froyotech is. They want nerdRage to be the aggressors here. They have such a lead that they don't need to risk going in and not having a successful push. They can make nerdRage be the aggressors here, which is certainly unfavorable. In an Uber v Uber situation, Flippy is also going to go down to a sticky trap, and he gets taken out by Tech as well, though. So it's a 5v5 fight out on second. Tech finds Ash before getting taken out by Duat. Now the rest of froyotech has backed up into choke, but they may just re-aggress right here, and you can see Blaze will come in. They pop this Uber off to try and find these frags. They send forward, but nerdRage did a good job of backing themselves up there.
They did indeed. They've managed to get out of that situation. They have a 25% Uber advantage, and Zebasi's just been launched forward so far. bluee aggressing as well, may be able to catch Bull there at the same time as Rib gets caught by the arrows from Shade, and it's only Tech and Stark alive here. 5 plays from froyotech rushing into last. Obliteration from Tech there. What an air shot, but it's not going to stop them. 4-0 the score, and with 3.5 minutes remaining here, it's not possible for nerdRage to come back from this.
No, I don't think it is. You know, it was nerdRage had started off looking so good earlier today. Right off the start of the game, very first map on Sunshine, and then it just took froyotech a little bit of time to warm up, and that's all that they needed. Banny bombs in and just seeks out Bull right away. They tried running a crit streak to the mid to end around quickly, doing everything that they can to try and win this game, but at this point it's just not possible for them. There's 2 minutes 55 seconds left here. They're down 0-4, and at this point Froyo may even get a win difference of 5 here.
It's very possible. nerdRage are clinging on, and froyotech still have to play these remaining minutes out, because nerdRage potentially could win if they just stacked all of the points. So no celebrating for froyotech yet. They have to keep up this form and make sure that they run the map timer out, but it is really not possible here for nerdRage to take it. It is going to be froyotech who are the i55 champions over 3 maps. The 3-map victory to 1 from nerdRage in this grand final, best of 5 here in Coventry, England. froyotech once again doing it, Gecks.
Man, it's a dynasty. These guys, it was amazing to even see them lose to them yesterday, but nerdRage just couldn't do it again. It was just a little bit too tough. Tech getting destroyed by Banny or bluee, but you're talking about one of the best teams to ever play the game right here.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think undoubtedly at this point the best game. The best game to ever play the game. The best team to ever play the game here, froyotech, because they are the victors of i52 and the victors of i55, having won the last 2 maps 5-0 against their best opponents, the European nerdRage, who knocked them down to the lower bracket earlier yesterday. And look at that, you can see the disappointment on their faces, Stark, with a little shrug there at the end, as Reason Gaming, the 3rd place team at i55, peer over their shoulders, and the entirety of Europe wonders what went wrong. But North America just showing that they are the dominant force in TF2 and have been for the past year.
These guys are just too good, man. froyotech is just too good. An excellent team. They are very deserving of that win. Probably now could be considered, after 2 World Championships in a row, the best team to ever play this game.
The only team to ever defend their World Championship title at an I-Series. Can anybody beat them? I thought it would be possible after they lost their first ever best of 3 at LAN yesterday to nerdRage, but they just couldn't pull it off again. There's a shot of Shade as well, just wandering away from where he was playing, looking relieved.
Yeah, relieved to have that done and out of the way here. The PJ Salt is real. I understand. I think a lot of people in this room are feeling the same way here. Let's see. We have CommanderX back with us as well. What do you guys think about that game? I mean, I know. What are you guys feeling about that last game there? Oh.
We will just get War's mic turned hot, and I will disappear to conduct an interview, but we'll let Gecks run the analysis panel as well and just figure out what's been going wrong here for nerdRage. 2 consecutive 5-0s to lose i55. So heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Are you guys working now?
Hello?
Yeah.
You're on the PA.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're coming through elsewhere. We're trying to get it sorted, folks. Sorry, our one audio guy seemed to have Do we have it now? I think we have it.
Oh, I can hear my own voice.
There we go.
Right.
Me too. That's nice.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
No. This was this was
practice, right?
Yeah, this was practice. The real final was yesterday.
LAN PCW.
Yeah.
So yesterday was the real final.
Yeah. It's a bit of a confusing schedule, but yeah, you'll figure it out. Yeah.
This is just a rebroadcast of another game. Don't even pay attention
last year's
to
game,
this.
Yeah.
I mean, though, what happened today? Did it just take froyotech some time to warm up and get themselves into the groove? Were they out a little too late last night and still recovering this morning? And
I think a lot of it is how nerdRage reacted to them losing Viaduct, pretty much, I think. It's not like a huge reason why, but it certainly, well, they just reacted poorly to it, I feel. I mean, especially from winning the first map and to sort of just lose Viaduct and then to lose Snake Water is going to be impossible for the majority of teams. To come back from that.
Yeah. Well, I do know that we have an interview set up and ready to go with our new world champions, our defending world champions, froyotech. Sideshow has that ready for you. He'll take you over with froyotech.
I do indeed. Thank you very much, Gecks. I'm joined by 3 members of froyotech, the defending champions from i52 and now the victors of i55 as well. Joined by Shade there, the medic from froyotech, Banny, the pocket, and Clockwork, the scout for froyotech. What went so well for you today that you couldn't quite manage in the upper bracket final?
Well, we have this thing about our team where unless it really matters, we really can't kick it into 100%, like full gear. But as soon as we knew like this was it, we really needed to play, we always come out strong, so yeah.
So, are you saying that you weren't taking the upper bracket final seriously, Clockwork?
I mean, I was definitely taking it seriously, but it's a different feeling when you're about to get knocked out versus when you're kind of just feeling it out at first. So, yeah. And then we pressured them really hard, too. So I guess it just worked in our favor, the momentum.
We were running through it at the analysis desk, and we were asking some of the other top players as well, but what makes you guys so phenomenally good at Viaduct? It's insane. You guys are unbeaten on that map.
Well, for one, we have fucking Clockwork, the best scout in the world. I don't know, man. But other than that, everyone just like keeps up the comms, and we just try and have every player like have a spot on the map, you know? We try and coordinate with Tyler when he's behind. We try and get Ash to like deny the soldiers. Today, everyone was like playing really well on our team. Like Carter, man, he turned it on. So thank God for that.
And the last 2 maps that you managed to do, you beat nerdRage 5-0 on the last 2 maps. You took it to a win difference, and they didn't get a single round over the last 2 maps there, Snakewater and Process. The 2 maps that they beat you on to win the upper bracket final. So how were you able to pull that kind of performance out of the bag? It's so impressive. Did you feel like nerdRage were playing at the same level they were, and you guys just stepped it up? What was happening? You're so good.
Yeah. I mean, yesterday, Process was a map we should have won. I dropped several times, just a few, that kind of cost us a few rounds. And I knew I wasn't going to play that loose today. Our whole team just played tighter. Everybody played on point, hit their shots. I played smarter, wasn't trying to milk to make the chat go crazy. So I just think we all knew we didn't play as well as we could have yesterday. So we were still confident on all of the maps today.
Yeah, I could add. Also, yesterday, like a lot of the mistakes we were able to discuss as a team. And I think on Sunshine, we made a lot of the same mistakes, but we just reminded ourselves again, you know, to take care of that, and we played much better because of that, I'd say.
Having gone down then to the lower bracket after yesterday, and you had some time to think about that, to think about what had happened, the mistakes you'd made, having gone into the grand final and instantly losing that first map, what kind of state is your team in mentally after that? Were you still supremely confident?
I mean, the thing is, we had a feeling that Sunshine was like their best map. So even I said at the end, we definitely should have won. We weren't very happy about losing, but I even said at the end, I was like, guys, listen, that's like probably their best map. Like they do like crazy stuff on it. A bunch of the Euros told me that, you know, it's probably their best map. And we took them 2-3, you know? So I just said if we just keep it up, we're going to win every other game. And we did.
So the kind of mentality at the end of that was just, that was a throwaway map. We expected to do our worst performance on that map, and we expected them to do the best. And we're just going to go out there and deliver on all the rest of the maps. Essentially.
I mean, we never expect to lose, like, just outright, we're never going to give up, right? Even though that's their best map and we've struggled on that map in the past, we still tried and like we got it so close. But I don't know, they played really well on that. And honestly, any of the maps could have gone that way, but once we started getting momentum, like, and they weren't able to slow it down and get people behind and stuff, which is like what they're really good at, we were able to like just stay in control and win the matches.
That's kind of the thing too. When you play sniper and you're based off of sniper, it's really hard to keep up the momentum because if things start not going your way, you know, they lost Snakewater 5-0. They start losing process. Like, I mean, Flippy had like that bust out round where he just headshot everything on middle, but it's hard to keep up all the headshots. You know, just carrying your team kind of through by picking everybody off. You can't do that when you're like mentally out of the game. So.
Do you guys feel then that running a sniper full-time, or as much as nerdRage do it, do you feel that's a fundamentally weaker strategy than just perfecting the cookie-cutter lineup?
I definitely do. Just because he's such a good sniper that, you know, you can't be super consistent with it. It's best to use it sparingly. So, like, you go to someone, you know, you push to last, then run Flippy as sniper. You know, he can probably get a headshot. He's really, really good. And if he doesn't, it doesn't cost you the round or anything, so.
Well, representing the entirety of Europe there with a bit of PJ Assault, that froyotech came through the lower bracket and utterly crushed the best that Europe could offer. But you guys have been dominant for so long. Did you expect to be able to, after winning i52, expect to be able to repeat that at i55? Was that always a goal for you, even off the back of the victory last LAN?
After i52, like a lot of us didn't really set our sights on i55. We just kind of were looking at the next season of ESEA, just trying to stay together as a team, keep entering tournaments. We love playing TF2, at least I do. And I don't know, we kept up the practice. And then once i55 started coming around, we're like, hey, maybe we'll do that. Maybe it'd be fun. And it's just been gathering more and more hype as time has gone. And now we've been like super all about it, you know? So we wanted to be here and we wanted to win. And hopefully next year we can too.
Absolutely. Are you thinking about next year already? Are the whisperings of i58 in your thoughts? I hear rumors that Sebastian Barton's thinking about reforming i49 Epsilon potentially. So I mean, Europe's making another pug team to contest you. But no, do you think the competition will be as fierce? Do you think that you'll still come out on top no matter what Europe throws out?
Well, I mean, every tournament there's going to be amazing teams. So depending on like who sticks together, I don't know, they'll be even better. But all the players are great. Everyone played well. Everyone had their moments. Like, I don't know, it's always hard. Like every LAN is hard. Everyone's trying their hardest. They have 5 ping, like, and you don't really know what to expect unless you do like hours and hours of research. We just came here trying to like play our game really, and it ended up working. But I don't know. You were asking if we're looking to the future. I think the next year for TF2 is very interesting. Like there's a lot of potential for like big things to happen. So maybe things will be completely different. But I don't know. I think the future's pretty bright, and I'm optimistic. I'm looking forward to it, man.
Just 2 more questions before I'll let you guys celebrate. But the first one is, how much do you think sticking together as a team for a longer period of time has benefited you guys? You have so much team cohesion and synergy with each other. How much has that been as a result of you guys staying together and playing since ESEA season 16?
Definitely a lot. You know, there are intangibles and sort of just things that you get better at the more you play as a team, for sure. But even from little personality quirks and things, you know, people are able to just deal with everything a lot more easily. Like if I ever get mad, something I think stupid happens, I'm like, what the, you know, like they can sweep it under the rug. You know, it's not really like everybody gets on tilt and then everybody starts raging. So it's like a friendship and a team thing together that really helps. Yeah.
And you said we've been together as a team since season 16. Me and Shade have been playing together since season 6, man. So him and I don't know. We built the core, and that's like the most important thing for any team. Like if you're building a team, you could be the world champion if you just keep that core together, add in people that work together, build up that chemistry, and just like knowing that you can rely on your teammates, know what they're capable of, and always trust in them. That's what we did, and it's worked for us, you know?
And just your final thoughts about i55 as an event. How competitive has it been? What's been the skill level like compared to previous I-Series that you've played in? What's the event been like in terms of the experience as well?
I mean, I think this year was one of the most competitive ones, I think, in recent years. I mean, compared to last year, and the way that one ended. This one, you know, leading up to it was so like mentally draining. Like trying to figure out how we're gonna beat these guys and figure out why Zebasai is killing me every 3 seconds in the upper bracket, and we had to focus like really hard, and all of us had to sit down and figure out, all right, you need to be doing this, you need to be doing this. We weren't doing this, so it was fun because it was so competitive, and we never felt like we were gonna lose, but it never seemed like, oh, we're gonna roll these guys right now. Like there were so many instances where it was sort of like, oh, this could go either way right now. So it was very competitive in my eyes. I thought it was a lot of fun though.
Well, that's been fantastic. I'll let you guys get off and celebrate your victory here at i55. That is froyotech. They are your i55 world champions for Team Fortress 2. And this brings i55, in terms of our Team Fortress TV coverage, to a close. We're going to sign off here. And we hope you guys enjoyed it. It's just been a fantastic tournament. I've loved every second of it. I know the teams have as well. And we're all going to chill out and relax. But Dashner's got a fantastic outro for you guys. So stay tuned for a little bit. We'll see you later on Team Fortress TV.